Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A little rain at times to start the day. Watch for some slick spots, mainly outside the city. The rest of today will be cloudy. It'll become breezy and turn much milder with a high of 51. Partial clearing and breezy tonight, though 29. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Tune in to KDKA Radio every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for On the Money with Secure Money Advisors. Brian Caranta has tips that will make sure your retirement and income plan is ready to help provide you with a comfortable, secure retirement.
It's the Big K, Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest 3 stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Man, a lot going on. We're going to talk about something very, very dramatic. You have to hear this. I mean, listen closely to these words because this is the life of a police officer. This is the danger they live on the streets. This is the life that they've chosen. And their willingness to do this, it blows me away. In the face of so many issues that create so much angst in their lives, this is what they do for a living. And it's amazing. We're going to get to that. Congressman lashing out, I mean big time, at Trump's plan to turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East. His words, not mine. And unbelievable story about what's going on in the Treasurer's office and the nastiness and the disgusting, embarrassing trash on the South Side that the mayor told an audience last night was cleaned up. Is that true? No. Do we trust him? Your choice. Meantime, my man Kyle, play that. Listen to this closely, folks. This is the life of a cop on the streets in Pittsburgh. Listen.
223, we're going to be able to smell with Bentley and DeVillers. He has a firearm in his hand. 223, receive field location. Bentley and DeVillers, we have him at gunpoint. He's running. Receive Bentley and DeVillers. He's running. All zone 2 units set for Bentley and DeVillers. He's running down toward the hill. No shirt, black Spanx on, do-rag. He's got one sock, no shoes. He's running towards the zone right now. Received. He's turning down toward Dinwiddie. Copy, towards Dinwiddie. He's boxed. He's pointing gun at us. Received, pointing the gun at you. 223, repeat your location. Running towards Slim's in the parking lot. Copy, Slim. Hey, he's hiding down behind the blue dumpsters behind Family Dollar. I can see him kneeled down. Copy. Yo, he's down behind that. Those blue, yeah, the ones you're pointing at, those blue dumpsters. He's down behind it. Copy. We got a canine here. Parking wants to get the high ground on him. Watch out, I'm up above him. Yeah, he's still got the gun in his hand. He's coming out to you right now. He's walking out to you. He's trying to fire. He's cross fire. Copy. Shots fired. Start medic, start location, 1 male down on the ground. Received. Get medic started. Copy, 1 male down on the ground, need an address. Wiley, DeVilliers. Delta 53R, he's shot in the chest. It's DeVilliers and Wiley.
Man, Jesus. Sorry for using the Lord's name in vain. That happened in a flash. It happened last night on the Hill District. And if you listen to that, and a lot of the cops were at the scene, the guy pulled out a gun and pointed it at them and ran. He was first person who saw him, if you listen, was a security guard. And this is the life that they live. This is how tough it is out in the streets. And I don't want to ask him about specifics of the shooting because he was there and he's part of this investigation. But I asked Bob Schwartzwelder to join me to talk about that life. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. Thanks for having me.
That, without, again, because it just happened and because you end up being part of this investigation, you can't. But that is the life of a cop, is it not, sir?
Well, what's interesting, Marty, and it is, and if you listen, extreme calm.
Yep.
You know, a split hair or 2 seconds
yep.
when based on the radio, the broadcast that you just let your listeners listen to. If you could measure that with a timer, you're going to see that's about a second or 2. That's it.
It's absolutely true. They have a second or 2 to make a life-ending decision, a life-saving decision. I mean, it's that quick, isn't it, Bob?
Well, and then watch. So there's probably about 20 different body camera reviews, plus civilians were following these officers and filming with their cell phone cameras. That's my understanding.
Right.
And we don't know what viewpoints they're going to post on social media or things like that. So then they had to worry about the civilians that were self-involving themselves in a very dangerous situation.
Hold on, let me stop you there. So let me stop you there, because this is actually important. This is where we're at now in our culture, in our society. Now you have 500 eyewitnesses with different vantage points and different opinions, and if you're in certain areas, no matter what the cop does, it becomes kind of iffy or sketchy, does it not, sir?
Correct, and the viewpoint is we don't know, it's unedited. See, the body-worn camera is unedited because it's filming the officer from the time the lights are activated, et cetera, and they're responding to this call. In the last one of the recent officer-involved shootings that we were investigating, there was 144 clips of body-worn camera video.
Wow.
144, probably average in time span from, 8 to 10 minutes to over an hour. So imagine having 144 of those clips that have to go through. Then the officer is subjected to very rigorous drug test screening and scrutiny, investigative process, interviews. They have to see a psychologist. They have to go through that. They're placed on administrative leave. They don't know the outcome. And then you have reviews by the district attorney and perhaps the FBI, the Citizens Police Review Board, wow. OMI, command wow. staff. All these different reviews where people always talk about where there's not enough oversight. There's no profession, and right or wrong so,
right.
because when a civilian, a police officer is a civilian, right? But he or she works as a police officer. They're not in the military. When they're compelled to take a life or use deadly force, it should be reviewed. But when I hear commentary by anyone that there's not enough scrutiny, that's just outrageous. Because I just gave you a hell of a point. I just gave you a little bit of the scrutiny right there.
And the fact that they make these decisions and that they're willing to take that risk, knowing what they're about to face afterward, is amazing too, isn't it, sir?
Correct, Marty. And they're traumatized for life. In other words, every police officer that I know has an aversion to using deadly force, but they recognize that to save a life of a third party or themselves, they may be called upon to do that. That's why they're trained. But remember, they live with that for the rest of their life, that they had to do that. And every officer will tell you that was compelled to do that. They never forget that time and that incident. They learn to deal with it. Like people that face other types of traumatic events, you never get over it. You just learn to deal with it.
At that time, I think this is important. They're not thinking about we're short manpower. They're not thinking about everyone else is getting paid more. They're not. They're just thinking about life and death and doing the right thing. Is that fair, sir?
That is correct. And making the appropriate decision because they know. So if you think about that, Marty, you had a lot of officers there, one officer fired. So if police officers had this high propensity, because you can hear, you got multiple people. Yep. I'm going by the radio. I'm going by what you obtained publicly.
Yep.
And that your producer played for you there when you started this off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of separate officers on that radio. Now, they gave control to one particular officer that probably had the most viewpoint of that. And I still don't even know if that's the officer who fired because I recognize voices, but I'm not sure what unit it was based on what you played. But that's a testament to the other officers that are there as well.
It is, man.
They don't see that threat, or they're not in a position or need to fire, and that officer particularly fired, not a whole bunch of officers.
So what happens now to the officer involved?
So the officer is placed on paid administrative leave. They will be required to speak with a therapist. They'll also meet with our attorney to go over things like that. Then an interview will be scheduled with the third-party investigators, which is the county police. The officer will then go there with our attorney, and they will speak with the investigators. At the conclusion of that, That'll then be reviewed by the DA. If the FBI decides they want to take a look at it, the Civil Rights Division, the Citizens Police Review Board, Office of Municipal Investigations, Command Staff Review, so on. It'll ultimately be presented to the district attorney, who will then review it, and he will make his determination whether any criminal charges should be filed or not. He could elect, probably not in this case, but he could elect to impanel a grand jury. Then you could be subjected to a grand jury proceedings. These are all the what ifs, right? I don't see that happening here. I'm not seeing that happening here, but these are all the potentials that could occur that happen in almost every officer-involved shooting in the country, not just Pittsburgh, but in the country. And, you know, with a lot of the rhetoric that was going on, that the police are out of control and things like that, things went so far overboard that people actually want even additional oversight.
Completely agree with you. It's annoying.
So this is not an easy thing to do. But remember, these men and women that do this job are facing some very compressed time frames.
Man.
And they have to make decisions on their lives or the lives of a third party. And last night I was particularly upset because these civilians were injecting themselves into the situation, forcing the police to distract from themselves.
What do you mean? Were they raising hell, Bob? I mean, what were they doing?
Well, they were following them.
Oh.
And filming.
Oh.
And there's a gunman there. And now they got to worry about, hey, we can't put this civilian in a crossfire with us.
Oh. And
things like, I mean, it was actually raising the risk to the officers.
Wow.
Because the officers now have to intervene to try to keep them back and out of that because they don't know what's involved. They're not on the radio. The officers are on the radio. The officers are hearing the location, the description of the individual, where he's going, what he's armed with, all those kinds of things. And then you have these civilians kind of injecting themselves into the problem.
Man.
So now the officers have to put themselves in harm's way in order to do that. And probably what you're going to hear, eventually it may or may not come out, where the officers were using very strong language, if you get my drift.
Yes, sir.
You know, they weren't saying, sir or ma'am, could you please step over there to the side? That's probably not what you would hear.
I don't care.
Okay. Well,
this is life and death stuff, brother.
You know, Marty, because you're in tune with a lot of this stuff is. You've known police officers for many, many years of all levels, federal, state, and local. So you get it, but not the average person. They may or may not be aware. So, kind of good. That was kind of interesting that you were able to obtain that from the guy that runs that radio program. It's a friend of yours. I forget.
Yep.
And you were able to obtain that because, you were able to give a little tidbit. So I think this was a good public awareness that you raised there. So, you know, I compliment you on that.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for the backstory. Wow. You're the absolute best, my man. Talk to you.
Okay, Marty. Take care.
Wow. It's amazing. Wow. Man. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic Call by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up, my friend?
All right. Well, thankfully, the expected overnight icy weather turned out to be not so much of that as we've been traveling around here in the Allegheny County area and through Pittsburgh. And so the rush hour delays were the usual, and now they have eased off considerably in a lot of spots. Things rolling well for you on the parkways east and west, for example, approaching their respective tunnels. Want to give you a heads up if you're planning to travel through Ross Draper Township, Westmoreland County overnight tonight, beginning at 8 tonight per PennDOT until 6 tomorrow, Friday morning. You're going to find a single lane restriction around shoulder repairs. This will be on eastbound Interstate 70 between exit 44 for Arnold City and exit 49 for Smithton. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, I got you something. What's this? Just a little Galentine's gift from JTV.
Do you mean jewelry television? I love their jewelry. They have the
New customers get $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
Yeah, their artisan collections, gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
Oh yeah, it's the pearl bracelet.
New customers receive $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
So, the best tree service, the best, most highly trained, the best pricing, the safest, the most reliable, the most professional, and they do free tree service for veterans, World War II veterans. They're the most amazing people I ever met. My man Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. I'm telling you, branches, trees, you name it, the biggest jobs and the smallest jobs. 412-415-7331. 412-415-7331. Call them.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
There is treatment for neuropathy. I'm Dr. Dawn Spalla. At Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine, we treat neuropathy patients daily. No drugs, no surgery, just relief. Call 724-224-2224 for a free consultation in our Sarver or Brackenridge locations.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Fascinating what you learned, what Bob just told us. So to add to the danger of this job the cops face, a bunch of civilians got involved. And look, everybody now is an eyewitness, and that's fine. I use cell phone video more than anyone, so I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with is I'm getting this vibe that they were getting in the middle of a gunfight with cops, and that they were upset because police were swearing. I don't give an F. If a guy's pulled a gun, and you'll hear it, and he's willing to shoot cops, and you'll hear that. Listen to this sound one more time, just to kind of get your arms around what the hell is going on.
223, we're going to be able to smell with Bentley and DeVillers. He has a firearm in his hand. 223, receive field location. Bentley and DeVillers, we have him at gunpoint. He's running. Receive Bentley and DeVillers. He's running. All zone 2 units set for Bentley and DeVillers. He's running down toward the hill. No shirt, black Spanx on, do-rag. He's got one sock, no shoes. He's running towards the zone right now. Received. He's turning down toward Dinwiddie. Copy, towards Dinwiddie. He's advised he's pointing gun at us. Received, pointing the gun at you. 223, repeat your location. Running towards Selene's in the parking lot. Copy, Selene. Hey, he's hiding down behind the blue dumpsters behind Family Dollar. I can see him kneel down. Copy. Yo, he's down behind that. Those blue, yeah, the ones you're pointing at, those blue dumpsters. He's down behind it. Copy. We got a canine here. Parking wants to get the high ground on him. Watch out, I'm up above him. Yeah, he's still got the gun in his hand. He's coming out to you right now. He's walking out to you. He's cross fire. Copy. Shots fired. Paramedics, our location. One male down on the ground. Received. We get medic started. Copy. One male down on the ground. Need an address. Clear. Delta 53R. He's shot in the chest. It's DeVilliers and Wiley.
So they have to make those decisions in a flash. they have to be organized in their thoughts. And then you add insane danger to this scenario. So now I'm told there were a significant number of civilians, regular folks like me, really close to the shooter. How about that? Really close to the cops. Can you imagine? You're a police officer chasing a guy with a gun, which a significant number of people saw, including every cop. In fact, it started out with a security guard who saw this guy with a gun. And so then you get civilians involved who are rolling with their cell phones in order to be able to scrutinize cops. And now the cops have to think, what happens if I hit this civilian as I'm trying to shoot a man who's pointing a gun at my face? Think about this. This is what happened last night in Pittsburgh on the Hill District. No way, no how. Look, man, I'm a big fan of the cell phone. But deciding to be man on the street cop, chasing cops within 5 feet of cops who have their guns drawn, focusing on a guy who's pointing his gun at them, wanting to kill them, you folks need to get the blank out of the way and let cops do their job. And I commend every single man and woman of any police department who has the you-know-what, the courage and the fortitude and discipline to go out there and do that night after night after night. It's unbelievable stuff.
Fabulous February savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. All natural, boneless, skinless chicken breasts or tenders, $2.49 a pound. Washington State Pink Lady apples, 4-pound bags, $2.99 each. And selected varieties of Mrs. T pierogies, 12 to 16-ounce boxes, $1.88 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Bone-in Western-style country ribs are $2.49 a pound. And best dressed fresh split chicken breasts are $2.49 a pound. In our produce department, raspberry or blackberry 6-ounce packages, 2 for $6, and red ripe strawberries, a 1-pound pack, 2 for $6. In our deli, original quality Isley's chipped ham, $2.99 a pound. In our bakery, authentic crusty loaves of French baguettes, $3.50 each. And this week, selected varieties of Di Fratelli pasta or pizza sauce, 14 to 24-ounce jars, 2 for $4.
So get in on the fabulous February savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Best are us when dreams don't get in. Best are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 412-556-BATH.
Best are us when dreams don't get in. Best are us.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 42 and overcast at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Calvin Cruz's murder trial included testimony from an ex-girlfriend and a police detective on Wednesday. Cruz is accused of fatally shooting Uber driver Christina Spicuzzi in 2022. The former girlfriend told the court Cruz called her the night of the killing and said the FaceTime video showed Calvin was inside a car. The detective testified he found video evidence of a person stepping out of and walking away from Spicuzzi's car in Pitcairn after she was killed. Prosecutors say that was Cruz. Testimony resumes this morning. And a McKeesport man was convicted of third-degree murder Wednesday in a shooting at a Washington housing complex in 2022. 25-year-old Jamil Carr was found guilty of killing Antonio Martinez. The jury deliberated less than 3 hours to reach a verdict, choosing a third-degree conviction rather than first-degree murder in the death of the teen from Clarksville, Tennessee. Carr will be sentenced in April. Pitt researchers have announced a promising new vaccine for the bird flu. With more on that, here's News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak.
This is not going to be a therapy, so it would not be something that might be useful after you're sick, but it might be something that might be useful to keep you from getting sick.
That's Doug Reed, Associate Professor of Immunology at Pitt, talking about a new antibody that targets a specific region of a protein that the H5N1 avian flu virus cannot mutate and change and still be able to infect.
And so what we were able to show is by doing that, yes, in fact, this antibody does protect against the bird flu.
He says the hope is that this new research will lead to a universal vaccine that would protect humans against all influenza viruses in the future. But that's still about 5 to 10 years away from becoming available on the market. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now down 71 points at 44,805. The NASDAQ is up 26, and the S&P up 7 points. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:32. Our next update at 11. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDKA.
It's Marty. So there are judges that dismiss every... I went to high school with Bob Tootie from Tootie Mechanical. So I've known him, 40-plus years? His business is insane, Tootie Mechanical. The service is unbelievable. The professionalism is unbelievable. And the help, man, they've put 400 free furnaces in homes. Tootie Mechanical is the best for HVAC I've ever seen in my career. They're amazing people, amazing service. Tootie, 412-771-4100. Call them.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you visit urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try some antibiotics and nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Pittsburgh Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your chronic sinus infections. Set an appointment today with Pittsburgh Sinus Centers and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 724-903-8048. 724-903-8048. That's 724-903-8048.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, good news is it's mostly tame out there if you do have to hit the highways and make some sort of a commute today. Of course, wet weather might be in your way, but other than that, not too tough as far as weather conditions go. Parkway West inbound does have a slowdown for you right before the front of the inbound Fort Pitt tunnels if you're making your way into downtown that way. Outbound toward the airport, great ride right now. No traffic troubles in your way there. Behind the Liberty tunnels, you do have traffic light delays on 51 and West Liberty Avenue getting into that intersection with the Liberty tunnels. Parkway East to inbound sluggish for you between Edgewood Swissvale and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. 28 looks like a great ride for you past the 40th and 31st Street bridges. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Warming up this afternoon. Will stay mostly cloudy, though, with a high of 51. Partial clearing and breezy with a low of 29 tonight, then times of clouds and sun, high 36 tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This traffic report sponsored by Robert Half.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
All right, Thursday. Here we are, Lisa Lauro coming up, and at 3 today, a really great story about a father and son doing special things. Plus, watch out for that ice, I guess. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6 today, right here, KDK.
I want to bring my friend Mike Fisher from Pittsburgh Scanner on. You heard this first. Hey, man, what's up?
Good morning.
Hey, help me out with something. Bob Schwartzwalder mentioned this, and you're very, very in tune to when this stuff is going on. He mentioned that it made the officers very uptight, that there were civilians very close to this. Could you hear that? Because I couldn't, but I'm an idiot.
Marty, offhand, the radio transmissions that at least I could hear, you could hear some people in the background, but I was not sure the specific locations as they're calling out. I mean, I'm sure that we will hear that it was a foot chase, and people are nebby in Pittsburgh. They want to put their nose in everything and see what's happening. So that could be very dangerous in a situation like this. And luckily, a civilian was not injured.
Man, Mike. I mean, it's one thing to be nebby, and you're right. And I don't think it's just Pittsburgh. I think everybody wants to have it on their cell phone these days. But when you got a guy running with a gun and you think you're going to get it on your cell phone, even though he's pulled a gun and he's aiming it at cops, that's just flat out idiotic and dangerous, is it not, sir?
Marty, I would say that's probably not the best tactical decision for self-preservation to do that during an active police chase with weapons on both sides being drawn. Things can go very bad very quickly.
And my man, when you sent this last night, you said it was a minute or two. It's amazing the decisions that a cop has to make in a compressed period of time, is it not, sir?
Marty, the clips that I sent, both of them, one was very condensed because there's a lot of silences in betweens, a lot of questions, interrogatives that weren't pertinent to the story.
Right.
But these are definitely the highlights, which are very intense and will tell the story without the fluff.
My brother, you're the best. Thanks, my man.
Enjoy.
Man, it's I love him, by the way. He's an amazing friend and an amazing resource. Folks were posting online that he was an A blank because he was posting this audio. If you listened to Bob Schwartzwalder, the union president, he's grateful. He wants the public to know what's going on. He wants them to hear this stuff. And so the morons, the know-it-alls, the cop haters, quite frankly, and the media haters, they all get together. They conflate their idiocy and make these posts that make no relevance. A cop who's been at this for decades, Schwartzwalder says, hell yeah. He was grateful that sound is out there. And grateful that the public can hear what the hell these cops go through. We are not dismissing the fact that a young man is dead. We're not. He pulled a gun and was ready to fire it at cops. That's the facts. It's hell when a cop goes through a shooting. You know who knows this? My man Bob Garvin. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. Thank you for having me on.
When you were there weren't idiots chasing you guys down the streets with cell phones, right?
Not at all.
Right.
I started in 1974, so.
This changes that dynamic, what we have now, does it not, sir?
It's good for accountability, but it places so many more people in danger, especially the officers, because so many more things they have to take in consideration that they shouldn't be at that moment.
So true. So tell us about the shooting you were involved in and how it went down and how you heal from that, how you respond to that as a cop.
You know, I think people from TV think police shootings are SWAT situations, robberies in progress. The majority of police shootings take place on the most mundane calls. So that's the other thing, the stress level. Like, let me use a good example of this shooting I was involved. I was working with my partner out in Wilkinsburg. We're very quiet evening, summer evening. We're riding around. We're talking about everything, you know. And we get a loud party call up on Singer Place. We're following another radio car up there. We get out of the car. We were still joking. And a brick comes down from the high side of the road there, hit my partner in the head and split his head all the way open. He goes down.
What?
I run over to him. I grab down on the ground. Other cars pull up. And all of a sudden, the partygoers, there's a guy up in the street shooting at us. And 6 of us returned fire. Unfortunately, the guy did lose his life. We never recovered the bullet, so I wasn't sure who actually shot him. But it's in your mind. Was that my bullet? And at the time, you know, you're mad. You're not scared. That's the funny part. You're not mad. That's why training is so important. You have to be there for your other people. You have to be there for the public, that no more people are in danger. And this all runs through your mind at a millisecond. I mean, I'm sure you're looking at Patrick right now where you're sitting, correct?
Yeah.
And on the breaks, you talk about whatever, right? Can you imagine just be talking to him and suddenly a bullet comes through the window and he disappears right there?
Right.
You go from no stress whatsoever to unbelievable stress you have to handle and make the right decisions. As you're going to be criticized in the courts, in the public, for years to come when you had a tenth of a second to react.
One of my closest friends, undercover DEA agent, he went on a raid one night. He had set it up a buy. They open the door. As soon as the door opens, a drug dealer puts a 9mm at his temple and pulls the trigger. The gun jams. His name's Tom. Tom had to go to work the next day. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened.
And back in that shooting I told you about, which was a fatality, we finished out our shift. My partner actually, naturally, he had to go to the hospital, but we had to finish out the rest of our shift because the calls keep coming. They've made some great improvements since then, I can say that much, but that's what you had to deal with.
It's not easy, and I commend any cop that does it. And now they do it short on manpower and in their head feeling like they're getting screwed salary-wise in Pittsburgh, right?
Well, I can only say one thing I say to all of them. The police today are so much better than my generation. Again, there's more accountability, which is good.
Yeah.
But they're dealing with factors we never even had to ever consider. And I tell them all, from my teaching them, I always end my seminars by saying, you know, you gave the highest accolade to any trainer, that you became one better than I was. And I salute these men and women that do this job under horrible situations today.
Brother Bob, thanks, my man.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
It's amazing stuff. Really, really grateful for these insanely spot-on stories. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is just some minor fluctuating delays, as we usually see on the parkways where there is a tunnel involved. So on the Parkway East now, it's a little bit heavier. backing right around Edgewood Swissvale as you make your way toward the Squirrel Hill tunnels. On the Parkway West inbound, just a minor slowdown approaching the Fort Pitt tunnels. The tame traffic gives us a chance to talk construction. Yes, even in February. PennDOT says you might see some flag crews in place to get you through an intersection in Allegheny Township, Westmoreland County today. You want to leave extra travel time to get through the intersection of routes 356 and 4048. So that's the Melwood Road, Hyde Park Road intersection. Crews are doing traffic signal upgrades in that area. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
College sports hold a mythic place in American culture. But sometimes the drama off the court overshadows the action on it.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything, including some of the biggest scandals in college sports. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast, available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
A new president is sworn in. America's greatness is being restored. And there's breaking news every minute. Now, tens of millions of Americans are turning off Fox and CNN and tuning in to Newsmax for the breaking information they really need to know. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America. Find it yourself on all major cable systems and on your TV or smartphone store. Just download the Newsmax app for free and start watching. You'll get great shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and Carl Higbie, and more. Find out why millions of Americans have made the switch. Even President Trump says Newsmax is terrific, and he's watching. So make the switch to Newsmax. Check us out on cable and satellite TV or download the Newsmax app today. Watch us anytime, anywhere. Remember, Newsmax is real news for real people.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-668-6655. That's 800-668-6655. Again, that's 800-668-6655.
Barry and Steve Aaronich from Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center. You know, getting something new creates excitement. For instance, on a scale of 1 to 10, a new TV might be a 3.
A new car might be a 7. But getting a brand new kitchen or bathroom, that is a 10. Few things equal the exhilaration and joy of finding just the right design for the kitchen or bath of your dreams.
And then there's the anticipation you feel as Petite's expert craftsmen transform your dream into a reality. From custom creation to expert installation, our family-owned business has been making people happy for almost 60 years.
Let us help you experience the one-of-a-kind joy you'll get from a brand new kitchen or bathroom from Petite.
Visit us on Route 50 just off the Carnegie exit. Call 412-279-2222 or click PATETE kitchens.com. Haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
Zero Res wants to give your home the love and attention it deserves. This month only, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $119, plus the 4th room cleaned free, and $75 off your air duct cleaning. 412-701-1188.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times, but when you need us, we're here for you, and we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Kara from California asks, I'm wondering if I should transfer our $100,000 emergency fund from our high-yield savings account at 3.8% to our brokerage account and invest it in a money market fund that would also allow us to avoid paying California state tax on the interest. Or is this splitting hairs? Kara, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Is it that you're investing in a money market fund or a money market municipal fund? That's the way you would avoid the taxes due on the interest in a California-based plan.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
And now, a Progressive ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. With Progressive, this has been a Progressive ad from Progressive. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I was interested in what happened overnight with the weather because we expected ice. I can always tell in the morning because I get up first, 4:30, and I take the dog out. And I can tell by the handrails and the steps. We had rain, but it was slick. I could feel it starting to freeze, and then it warmed up, and it's fine now. But, sorry, I have a mint in my mouth. I want to read a few things, because it did vary. And it was dicey for you idiots saying, who cares about the weather? Man, I don't care about what you think. Weather is valuable to people, and it was a weird night. I did see lightning, and I did hear thunder. Yeah, I did. Ruth Ann, taking my 169-pound Newfoundland dog, they're beautiful, Newfoundland dog out was not fun. Check this out. He fell on the sidewalk and did not want to come off of the grassy area. Wow. So she had ice. Monaca, Maggie, my driveway is a sheet of ice. Denise, did anyone have a bad storm? Yes. Did you hear lightning? Thunder. Did you see it? Yeah?
Didn't see it, but I heard it,
Did you?
and
What
my
time?
dogs were going nuts.
I forget what time that was.
Between like 1:30 and 2:30.
Yeah, I must have woken up to urinate. Raining in the south. Roads in Pittsburgh were fine. Oh, check it out. In Clarion, Bo, travel nurse. Wow, I love travel nurses, and they get paid, Bo. Travel nurse working in Clarion. Lots of ice and rain. It's the worst thing to drive on and the most dangerous. Valerie, no ice in Florida. You know what I can't stand? Let me tell you. Oh, that's Pacatina. I got to get to this. This is important. So, I've been trying for a week now to get the treasurer, the alleged county treasurer, to answer the phone. I'm not exaggerating this. Her name is Erica. And she won't answer the phone. And she won't respond to texts at all. Now, I'm not enamored with her. I don't want to talk to her about dinner or ordering a pizza. I'm actually trying to perform a public service. When the hell are you going to send out the tax statements? Seems like a fair question. One time she picked up the phone and said, my staff will get back to you. That's 3 days ago. That is not the way a public servant is expected to serve the public. Eric Brusselaars, I guess that's how she says it. You know who does answer the phone? You know who kicks ass? County Council President Pat Katina. Pat, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. Thank you for having me.
Since the treasurer has no interest in telling the public the status of sending out tax bills, which a lot of folks need to have sent to them, what is the status, sir?
The last time I talked to the treasurer, the bills were supposed to start going out next week, and they were supposed to be received in people's hands basically by next Friday. Not this Friday coming up, but next Friday. That was the latest update I received. I do have a call into her as well to try to get a more recent update, but that was the update as of 48 hours ago.
I'm not being annoying, Pat. These are important to people, are they not, sir?
Oh, they're very important. I mean, any time that we're late when getting the bills, that has a domino effect. For instance, like mortgage companies. Mortgage companies have to get the bills in, and they have obviously a set amount of time. So if they don't have bills in hand, obviously that creates a problem.
Hey, Pat, how late are they?
Well, best practices that you give, best practice across the state of Pennsylvania is you give 60 days. So, for instance, if a tax bills were due on March 30th, we would want to give people 60 days, basically. So they should have had them in hand by the end of the month, from end of January.
Oh.
That's best practice is 60 days. I mean, you want to give people ample time in order to prepare, get the money. I mean, because like I said before, I mean, some tax bills this year, there might be some sticker shock because the county did raise the taxes. So we want to give people the opportunity to see what their new bill is, see what their new amount is, see what they're going to be paying, and then avail the discount. It's the 2% discount, too. And like I told you before, that's what my legislation does. It's going to extend the discount period so people aren't penalized by getting their tax bills late.
Pat, were they not late last year, too, her first year?
They were late last year, and I understand it's her first year, the treasurer's first year, so I'm willing to cut her some slack for it being late last year, but 2 years in a row, that's a problem.
Is she responsive to you, Pat?
She's been responsive so far. I don't know how responsive she's going to be since I've been talking to you, Marty. I'm still going to do my job, though, and get the updates for the people and stuff, because that's who I represent, my constituents and the constituents of Allegheny County.
Hey, Pat, great point. If the bills go out late, the payments come in late, too, don't they, sir?
Correct, they do.
My man. How many people get sent these? How many?
I don't know off the top of my head. We're talking thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands. Pat, you're the best. Thank you, sir, for caring. You really do. Appreciate you, brother.
You're very welcome. Take care, Marty.
Do your job, ma'am. Seems simple enough. You got that to worry about and that to worry about till next year.
The KDKA mobile news fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
When it comes to protecting my family's future, I want a life insurance company that's at the top of their game. That's why I got same-day coverage through Ethos. There was no paperwork, no waiting around, and no medical exam. I just answered a few health questions online, and Ethos set me up with a $3 million policy for about $2 a day. Go to tryethos.com and get it done today. That's TRYETHOS.com. TRYETHOS.com. Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
When you hire our firm, you become part of the family. Nobody messes with family. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 41
31 degrees at Pittsburgh International. At 11 o'clock, I'm David Colorado. A Pittsburgh police officer shot and killed a man in the Hill District last night. Around 5 p.m., officers were called to the 100 block of Hyman Place after a security guard patrolling Oak Hill Apartments said a man in his 30s pointed a gun at him. Police found the unidentified man a short time later behind a dumpster near Wiley Avenue.
Numerous officers gave him commands to drop the weapon and come out and surrender peacefully. The man did not listen to those commands. He came out from behind the dumpsters with the weapon and advanced on officers. One officer fired.
That's Allegheny County Police Superintendent Christopher Kearns briefing reporters after the fatal shooting. The officer who shot the man is on leave, and the medical examiner's office will identify the man. After 7 seasons with the Penguins, Kevin Acklin has resigned as the team's president of business operations. KDKA's Marty Griffin reports that Acklin will remain with the Penguins as an advisor until the end of the year. He joined the Penguins in 2018 as senior vice president and general counsel and was named president of business operations in 2022. In a statement, Acklin says he's looking forward to the next steps in his career and continuing his service to Pittsburgh. A McKeesport man was convicted of third-degree murder Wednesday in a shooting at a Washington housing complex back in 2022. 25-year-old Jamil Carr was found guilty of killing 18-year-old Antonio Martinez. The jury deliberated less than 3 hours in reaching the verdict, choosing a third-degree conviction rather than first-degree. Carr will be sentenced in April. Pitt researchers announce a promising new vaccine for the bird flu. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has the details.
This is not going to be a therapy, so it would not be something that might be useful after you're sick, but it might be something that might be useful to keep you from getting sick.
That's Doug Reed, Associate Professor of Immunology at Pitt, talking about a new antibody that targets a specific region of a protein that the H5N1 avian flu virus cannot mutate and change and still be able to infect.
And so what we were able to show is by doing that, yes, in fact, this antibody does protect against the bird flu.
He says the hope is that this new research will lead to a universal vaccine that would protect humans against all influenza viruses in the future. But that's still about 5 to 10 years away from becoming available on the market. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
President Trump spoke at a private prayer breakfast this morning, and during his remarks, he announced that he would be signing an executive order to make Attorney General Pam Bondi the head of a task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias.
The mission of this task force will be to immediately halt all forms of anti-Christian targeting and discrimination within the federal government.
He spoke earlier at the congressional prayer breakfast to members of both sides of the aisle. Progressive House members are calling on the president to fire Elon Musk, saying his bid to overhaul the government threatens the well-being of average Americans. Progressive Caucus Chair Greg Gassar says Musk's unfettered power poses a risk.
We are going to use every legislative, judicial, and public pressure tool at our disposal as members of Congress until we fire Elon Musk.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 130, but the Nasdaq is 24 points higher. The S&P 500 up 5. KDKA Sports, Baldwin visits Thomas Jefferson tonight, and our high school basketball game of the week is a girls matchup. The coverage starts at 6 with countdown to tip-off. The Pirates agreed to terms with veteran outfielder Tommy Pham on a one-year deal worth $4.025 million. The deal is pending his passing a physical. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Home improvements with no interest financing if you need it. TrustPJ.com. And by Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, expanding to their new Scott Township location on Cochrane Road. KDK Radio News time 11:03. Time to learn how the Inflation Reduction Act will impact your Medicare plan this year. Contact Dina Schmidt at One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. It's cloudy and 41 in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
Fabulous February savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. All natural boneless skinless chicken breasts or tenders, $2.49 a pound. Washington State Pink Lady apples, 4-pound bags, $2.99 each. And selected varieties of Mrs. T pierogies, 12 to 16-ounce boxes, $1.88 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Bone-in Western-style country ribs are $2.49 a pound. And best dressed fresh split chicken breasts are $2.49 a pound. In our produce department, raspberry or blackberries, 6-ounce packages, 2 for $6, and red ripe strawberries, a 1-pound pack, 2 for $6. In our deli, original quality Isley's chipped ham, $2.99 a pound. In our bakery, authentic crusty loaves of French baguettes, $3.50 each. And this week, selected varieties of Di Fratelli pasta or pizza sauce, 14 to 24-ounce jars, 2 for $4.
So get in on the fabulous February savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up out there?
All right, what's up is through the major areas around Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, and the major arteries heading into and through downtown, Marty, we are accident-free right now. Always happy to report that kind of news. And we're almost delay-free. Parkway West inbound still has some bunching for you right around the Banksville on-ramp as you head for the Fort Pitt tunnels. We do want to remind you where you'll find construction zone lane restrictions and delays around them. This continues through mid-February in West Mifflin, Baldwin, Pleasant Hills, and Jefferson Hills. You want to watch for a single lane and shoulder restriction on Route 51, Clairton Boulevard, in both directions between Coal Valley Road and Lebanon Church Road. Crews are there 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. doing their work and forcing those lane restrictions daily. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will stay rather cloudy, but warm up to a high of 51. Partial clearing tonight, breezy with a low of 29. Then tomorrow, clouds and sun with a high of 36. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
For all station contest rules, go to kdkaradio.com/rules.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Does it annoy you when people send you pictures of, like, Patrick and his wife have this condo, whatever the hell it is, in this gorgeous resort in Mexico, and I'm sitting here freezing my ass off, hacking, eating crap food, and wishing I was living somewhere else, and they send you pictures of their feet as they drink by a bar? Don't you hate that? Don't you hate that when they put it in your face? When you're driving in Pittsburgh thinking, why am I here, God? God, take me away. And don't you hate that when you ask people to call you about ice on the road and they send you a photograph of them in the Bahamas? Go away. I hope it rains. Oh, no, I don't mind that other people have second homes. One of my favorite comments from my 17-year-old daughter, who I would die for today. Hey, Dad, why don't we have a beach house? Oh, I don't know, dear. I'm glad you reminded me. I'll buy one today. Kids, they're so darn cute. As we prepare to pay for her $200,000 college education that she won't have to pay back. Dad, why don't we have a beach house? Oh, really? Let me go in the other room and punch this wall first. Kids. All right, so let me be straight up here. So Gainey gave some speech last night about downtown. You'd have thought, listening to him and reading the dialogue, that he was in Paris, maybe. But he's in Pittsburgh. The mayor pretty much said that crime's down, economic development's up, the streets are clean, and now we're in Oz. Homeless people are gone. He said the city cleared all the encampments. Okay. He said that they're going to finish up on the Allegheny County Jail next week. Trail. Okay. Look, man, I'm a downtown guy. On most days, downtown sucks. There's no development. There's no buzz. I would give the mayor this. Crime is down and the cops have showed up. They do their damn job. The legal system hasn't. As I mentioned, the guy yesterday who has 195 arrests, he's downtown today, ready to get arrested again. Hopefully he doesn't hurt anybody. But what made me sick was this notion that the mayor suggested that the trails are clear, especially when some of my boys sent me disgusting pictures of more trash than I've ever seen on the South Side Trail. It is I swear it looks like a big dump in New York City, where the city dumps its trash. Now, unless the mayor doesn't pay attention to pictures and video or doesn't understand what the truth is, that's a bald-faced lie. Maybe he just missed it in the agenda meetings. You know who doesn't miss it? My man, Rich Chipka, the honorary mayor of the South Side. What's up, my man?
Marty, how are you?
Not only did I see it, and it's disgusting and gross and vulgar, who else sees it? Very high-profile athletes that Pitt is trying to get here. How does this happen, and what are they saying?
Well, Pitt's facilities are right next to the Steelers, and in order to get to their facilities, you have to go make a left off the Hot Metal Bridge, and there's homeless encampments there. So, I mean, Pitt's at a disadvantage already without having a stadium on campus and everything else that is negative about Pittsburgh. Now they have these 4 or 5 star recruits coming in, and the first thing they see is homeless encampments.
It's gross. Hey, when you sent me those pictures, hey, Rich, it's nasty, brother, is it not?
Oh yeah, I mean there had been 1,000 needles when I was down there this morning.
There have to
everywhere.
There have to be 10 tons of trash.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So what the hell's the mayor talking about?
I mean, I don't know what he's seeing, or Pittsburgh's the gaslight capital of the world. Nothing matters except what they say, and they expect you to believe them. I mean, the overtaxed taxpayers of Pittsburgh spend $1.3 billion a year in taxes, and this is the way we live. We have 85% in Pittsburgh public schools. 85% of the kids are non-proficient. We have crumbling infrastructure, bridges collapsing, bridges that the fire trucks aren't even allowed on to go to save people because they're structurally unsound.
But hold on. I get all that because I live that on the air. But you're the mayor of the South Side unofficially, and that trash sucks. And this crap that it's clear is a bald-faced lie, sir, is it not?
Oh, yes, no doubt about it. And everything else that they propagate is also.
And I need you to do me a favor. Will you have the good father, when you hang up, have him call us? I want him to tell the public what happened to his water leak yesterday, okay?
I will.
And you make a great point. So Pitt brings in jocks, and they're at a deficit because they don't have $20 million in NIL money to pay kids to come here and play. Accurate, right?
True.
And so they bring them over there, and as they're going into the South Side facilities where they play and practice, and the Steelers practice too, they see this mound heap of crap. Do they not, sir?
Yes, they do. There's at least four tents right there on the corner of Hot Metal Street.
It's nasty, man. Rich Chipka, you're my man. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Marty.
All right. Look, I like that the mayor has a positive attitude. I have seen some things change downtown. But anyone in this town that has any juice, any money, any influence, hates downtown right now. Hates the development prospects. And I hearken back to a study we mentioned a week ago. 44 cities, mid-sized cities like Pittsburgh. Growth, economic development, and unemployment. Pittsburgh finished 44th. Right now, the outlook for Pittsburgh is like the skies in Pittsburgh right now. Gloomy. Gray. And let me say this. If I'm mayor, and I'm not, because I couldn't do that job, and I saw that crap on that South Side Trail, I would call Public Works right now and say, get your ass to the South Side. I want that cleaned up today, or you're looking for work tomorrow. There are people sitting around right now in Public Works because there wasn't any ice that can do that job. If the mayor has any pride in his town, he will see these photographs and say, damn, that sucks. Let's take care of that. Wouldn't you, folks? I would. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up, my friend?
All right, what's up, Marty, is we have tame traffic, and that gives us a chance to visit the construction zone lane restriction roster and share where you might find some slowdowns. PennDOT says that you could see some flag crews in place to get you through an intersection in Allegheny Township, Westmoreland County today. You'll want to leave extra time to get through the intersection of routes 356 and 4048. That's the Melwood Road, Hyde Park Road intersection. Crews are doing traffic signal upgrades in that area, and you could find some slowdowns, and obviously always watching out for the flag crews there and keeping them safe as they do the hard work and keep you safe too. No major problems for you on the Parkways east or west heading in toward town. 28 southbound is a good ride, as is the Parkway north, I-279, and 65 southbound if you're headed toward the Golden Triangle. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
When you buy appliances, they break. It's just the truth. Check this out. Voss TV and Appliance, they have their own crews, their own folks, techs that fix this stuff, and they're magnificent. Here's the other thing about Voss. Our dishwasher broke. They got a new dishwasher in our house within a week and a half. In this marketplace, in crazy weather, during crazy times. Voss TV and Appliance, 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS.
$3.2 million for a power plant worker with mesothelioma. $3 million for the family of a steel worker who died from asbestos-related lung cancer. Another $3.8 million for the family of a steel worker with mesothelioma. These are just a few case results that Pittsburgh-based law firm Goldberg, Persky & White have been able to get for their clients. They can do the same for you. If you're suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma, contact GPW for a free consultation at 1-800-COMPLEX or GPWLaw.com.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort, because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on, with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, I got you something.
What's this?
Just a little Galentine's gift from JTV.
Do you mean jewelry television? I love their jewelry. They have the
New customers get $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
Yeah, their artisan collections? Gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
Oh, yeah. It's the pearl bracelet.
New customers receive $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
So, the best tree service, the best, most highly trained, the best pricing, the safest, the most reliable, the most professional, and they do free tree service for veterans, World War II veterans. They're the most amazing people I ever met. My man Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. I'm telling you, branches, trees, you name it, the biggest jobs and the smallest jobs. 412-415-7331. 412-415-7331. Call them.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Trust & Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust & Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust & Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust & Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Hey, it's Dan Zangrilli on behalf of Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 2024 was a banner year, and 2025 is off to a terrific start because Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is growing, and they're proud to announce the opening of their newest branch on Cochrane Road in Scott Township. Just like me, nearly 25,000 Western Pennsylvanians call Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union home. So shape your future with a diverse line of highly competitive products from Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union at AllegiantFCU.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Doesn't seem that hard if you're the mayor of a big city. Or if you're the guy, the public works director. If your guys are bullshitting you and saying, hey, boss, we clean up those trails, then if they're bullshitting you, bullshitting, it's my new thing, so I can get away with it. If they're bullshitting you and saying, hey, boss, we cleaned up those trails, and they didn't, then you just look at the pictures we just posted and say, you guys are full of it. Clean up the trails today. Seems to me. Would make sense to me. But they haven't. So they're bull-sitting, S-I-T-T-I-N-G, for all the old ladies out there who are up in arms and call my boss right now. It's my new word. I use it at home instead of the F-bomb. It's Christian. Mad Max. So the mayor
Marty
is bull-sitting us, is he not, sir?
Well, I apologize. I missed the last segment. I just got out of court.
Okay, so those pictures.
But I caught the tail end of it.
The mayor suggesting that the trails are cleaned up is a bald-faced lie, is it not?
It's disgusting. I sent you those pictures yesterday I got from a Southside group, and the ones that you posted today were even more detailed.
Disgusting.
Somebody got right up on it. You know, I'm gonna give the mayor a little bit of a pass on this, and I'm going to say, why aren't we holding the NGOs responsible, the non-governmental organizations that are facilitating that what you're looking at, the needles, the trash? Why aren't anybody from any of those organizations doing more to make sure that it never gets to that point?
Okay, but clean it up. It's 10 tons of trash, man.
100%. You're not going to get an argument from me on that. But why does it have to get to the, oh my gosh, this is appalling? Why do we have to let it get to that point before some action is taken?
Because of what you said, it's the woke thing. It's the let's give them needles and rather than let's get them in the treatment and let's get them into jail if they're criminals.
And then the other thing I'll point out is if you look at those pictures, you can see the trash is right on the water line.
It's
so if that water comes up a little bit, now it becomes an EPA issue.
Gross, man.
It becomes an EPA issue, and now it's washing downstream, and it becomes somebody else's problem that doesn't live in the city. I don't know where the next stop for all that trash goes, but it's going downstream, and it's going to be somebody else's issue.
Hey, Max. Now, the mayor's saying there are no homeless folks left on the trails. I was told 4. What are you seeing?
Well, unfortunately, I did not, after court today, I didn't get a chance to walk over to the jail trail, but I do plan on later today going in and looking at that, and then I did want to get over to the south side and check that out for my own self, just to see what's going on over there. All
right, before you go, let's deal with what you were dealing with today, because I spent an hour on this yesterday. This regurgitating cycle of letting all these idiots out on the streets to commit crimes, and you have been in court at least 4 times to try and get the idiots that broke into your business just to get him before a judge without being out in the streets. You finally got a little love today, right?
So Judge Bigley, I got to give her a prop. She's awesome. She's a no-nonsense. Just listen to her, do her thing, and, some of the arguments that were made for, we think that because of this person should be non-monetary. She's like, she goes, I'd have to be high to do that. Absolutely not. She's great. And then in my situation, they were looking to put him into like a treatment house or something. And she goes, why would we do that? She goes, number one, this isn't even my case. I'm not hearing this. But she goes, put it before the other judge. But she goes, I would be stupid to put him someplace where there's no supervision and he could just walk away. And in my head, I'm like, thank you, Your Honor. I mean, see, it totally made sense. But, the woke judges and magistrates just don't get it.
You're the man, Max. Thanks, brother.
All right, Marty, be good.
Love him. He's one of my good friends. He's a wonderful man. All right, so we have a progress report. One of the churches that I love most is on the south side. Why? Because of these women there that make pierogies, and they keep the church open by selling pierogies. And they're 100 yards from this homeless encampment under the McCardle Roadway Bridge. And we've been fighting with the mayor's office, shocking, to get it shut down for more than a year now. We've been to the church a dozen times. They've had break-ins. They found a dead body. I mean, they've had people robbed. And yesterday they had a horrible water leak that PWSA would not respond to. And Father Patrick is at the center of this. Good morning, Father. How are you?
I'm fine, Marty. How are you doing?
Great, Father. Tell our listeners what church it is and where it is and what happened yesterday.
St. Mary's Orthodox Church on South 19th in the south side. You're confusing us, by the way, Marty, sometimes with our friends at St. John's.
Okay.
We're a little farther up the road than them.
Okay.
But, yeah, the water main was leaking, we now know, for several weeks. We knew of it from a week ago Sunday. It was filling the church basement with pools of water, and, well, we have a nice mud basement now that we never had before, but that will dry out in time. They did get the leak fixed at 10 o'clock last night.
Oh.
Of course, the guys told me, well, Father, they never sent us out until I said, I understand. It's okay. They arrived at 5:08 to start the work, and I just shook my head in disbelief. Perfect day yesterday, and they were supposed to start at 8. We never saw them.
Wow. 8 a.m.
So, yeah. Instead, they were there at 5:08 p.m. It is what it is, glory to God. At least it's fixed. Now we have to deal with the aftermath of it.
How much is it going to cost you, Father?
That's a great question, Marty. We have a contractor that came in and looked at it. He's talking thousands of dollars.
Oh.
The question is, how bad is the paneling? That's it. And we know that the flooring in the basement has to be replaced by the steps. They're saying they have to take out all the paneling. I kind of find that a little ridiculous, but I don't know. I'm not an expert on water mitigation.
All right, Father, let's do this. Get us an estimate. Find out how much you need to raise, and we'll raise it for you, okay?
Marty, I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you.
Love you, Father. St. Mary's Orthodox, South 19th. I love those folks. They're amazing people. Get us an estimate. We'll raise it for you, okay?
Very good. Thanks, Marty.
Thanks,
God bless you.
He's a great man. I love him. I love him. I love the church.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-809-7991. That's 800-809-7991. When you call, you'll get free information. Free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-809-7991. That's 800-809-7991 today.
Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-833-771-3415 to learn more. A licensed agent will answer your call.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our DSMPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 43 degrees at 11:30. I'm David Colorado. A plan to renovate downtown's Market Square now has the backing of the city's Historic Review Commission. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has more.
Downtown leaders say Market Square is due for a facelift, and the Pittsburgh Historic Review Commission agrees. Commission members on Wednesday unanimously approved a proposal that would include a new year-round structure for seating and programming. It also would limit traffic to the north end of the square while banning parking altogether to allow more space for outdoor dining. The redesign would also add more seating and trees along Market Street to make it more pedestrian friendly. Price tag of the rehab anywhere from $12 million to $20 million. Officials hope to have the renovations completed in time for the NFL draft set to take place in Pittsburgh in the spring of 2026. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
President Trump spoke this morning at the National Prayer Breakfast. He said after 2 failed attempts on his life, he has developed a different relationship with religion.
It changed something in me. I feel even stronger. I believed in God, but I feel much more strongly about it. Something happened.
Kevin Acklin is on his way out as the Penguins' president of business operations. In a statement, he says he'll be staying on as an advisor through the end of the year. He joined the team in 2018 and became head of business operations in 2022. On Wall Street right now, a mixed market yet again. The Dow is down 106 points. The Nasdaq is higher. It's up 34 points. The S&P 500 is also on the plus side, and it's up 12 points. KDK Radio News Time, 11:31. Our next update's at noon. I'm David Ballarado on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio, KDKA.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you visit urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try some antibiotics and nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Pittsburgh Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your chronic sinus infections. Set an appointment today with Pittsburgh Sinus Centers and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 724-903-8048. 724-903-8048. That's 724-903-8048.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelty. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelty can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelty?
Just send them a text.
Text COVER to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text COVER to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text COVER to 200-300. That's COVER to 200-300. COVER to 200-300.
You can miss a lot in February. Groundhog's Day, President's Day, even Valentine's Day. Don't miss Valentine's Day. By the way, Colin Dunlap for Window Nation. But listen, don't miss your chance from Window Nation to save 60% off all style windows. Pay nothing for 2 full years. Only from Window Nation. Do it right now. Offer ends February 28th, so you're going to want to schedule that free in-home consultation right now. 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION, windownation.com. Window Nation, a proud partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Receive a pair of Penguin tickets with the purchase of a house of windows.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up out there?
All right, what's up is it's pretty calm as we head toward the noontime hour, Marty, and that always gives us a chance to do a deep dive into the construction zone lane restriction alerts that we have for folks, because that will slow your go out there. You want to plan ahead for traffic stoppages of up to 15 minutes at a time. For example, this in South Fayette Township, and this is something that is continuing through late February. You'll have a single alternating lane of traffic on the Millers Run Road Bridge. That's over Dolphin Drive, and it's between Mohawk and Battle Ridge Roads. This crews are doing waterline relocation work near that bridge, and that's what causes the stoppages and the restrictions. Generally, your daylight hours, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., is when you will find those stoppages and restrictions in place. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly cloudy and warming up this afternoon. We'll have a high of 51. Partial clearing tonight, breezy with a low of 29, then colder with clouds and sun and a high of 36 tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, Thursday. Here we are, Lisa Lauro coming up, and at 3 today, a really great story about a father and son doing special things. Plus, watch out for that ice, I guess. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6 today, right here, KDK.
It was hit and miss with the ice. I got a bunch of emails. Folks fell on their you-know-whats, dogs falling down, and then other folks got rain. It's nasty, especially the black ice. You can't see it. It's awful. One of my favorite guests, Michaela. Hi, Michaela.
Hi, hello.
Why are you always so happy?
Because it's getting towards the end of the week, so I'm not really that busy on Thursday, so it's a pretty good day, I think, compared to my rest of my week.
I need you to come on one day just irritated as hell, Michaela.
That probably will happen one of these days, I'm sure.
Michaela's a Pitt student and a part of our team at night. Hey, this is serious, so I need your honest answer here. My daughter is in a sorority. I think I told you this last time.
Yeah.
They went to I won't name the fraternity, on the campus of Carnegie Mellon. They do this all the time, those mixers. Right. And some of the fraternity boys gave several of the sorority sisters drugs to knock them out. Date rape drugs, in essence.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, whenever these girls go, it's actually very smart. This sorority always has, and I'll just use descriptive of a sober chaperone, usually 3 of them. 2 of the girls passed out. They all got the hell out of there, which raises a bigger concern, and I've asked other college students at Pitt, young women, and they tell me that this is an issue. And then when all of you go out, you're very careful about this and cognizant of this. Number 1, have you heard of this? And number 2, if you have, are you careful when you go out?
So I personally do not go out to a lot of group settings if I don't know a lot of the people.
Nice.
I myself am just very cautious whenever it's a setting and, it's going to be late and there's a lot of people there. If I am going to put myself in that position, I definitely travel with a big group of people to in case stuff like that happens, because unfortunately that is something that is always running through my mind when I am, at somebody's place that is new. I've never been there before. And it sucks that is something that has to constantly be at the front of your mind whenever you're just trying to be out and enjoying yourself and meeting new people, especially if you're a part of like a sorority and you're supposed to be, creating these connections with other brothers and sisters and that stuff. And it definitely does happen. I've heard of it happening way more than it should.
Wow. So it aggravated me so much as it would. It's my friggin' daughter, for God's sakes. And I know the police chief of Carnegie Mellon. He had detectives lined up, ready to go. But the girls had trepidation. They didn't want to get involved. They didn't want to fill out statements. I can understand that, but nothing changes unless somebody stands up. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. And I know sometimes that there is, the scare. You don't want to get caught in case you're like underage, drinking and stuff like that. But when it comes to other people's safety, you could prevent this from happening in the future. And sometimes you do have to make that sacrifice to, support people in the future who could be in the same position.
I'll tell you what, Michaela, this isn't just Pitt. I love Pitt, and she loves Pitt, and we love Pitt. Cripes, I went to school at Central Catholic. It's a mile from Pitt. This is across the country. What the hell has happened to our culture? We have young men, college students, for God's sakes, who go out thinking, I'm going to drug this girl and knock her out so I can take her home and rape her. Now, I know this is serious content, but it seems to me like you can handle it. What the hell has happened to our culture, Michaela?
And I don't know if it's something with like the media. Obviously, a lot of our generation is very influenced by a lot of stuff on social media. True. Me personally, I feel like some of it is there's a lot of, podcasting culture is a huge thing. And there's a lot of these, I call them dude bro podcasts where, there's certain people going on with the ideology that you can take advantage of people who are vulnerable emotionally. And a lot of these young, impressionable men are seeing this and using it as a way, one, to connect with other people and make friends, because being out on your own, especially in college, is hard.
It is.
And thinking that this is the only way that you can, impress your brothers of your fraternity or, make friends and that stuff. And unfortunately, these young, impressionable kids basically are falling into this hole of thinking that they have to be always the ones in power and have to hold power over these young, vulnerable, especially women and everything. And it's scary. It's really scary. I've met many people who, follow those ideologies that, they're the man in charge, and that this stuff is okay and it's not okay.
Wow. Scared the hell out of me. I'll tell you what, if my son did that, his ass would be out of school. I have no tolerance for that kind of behavior. And I know exactly what she's talking about. The social media has become peer pressure 1 million X. And these broadcasts, these are young men trying to look cool, so they do stupid crap, right? Okay, that's stupid crap.
Oh, yeah.
Idiotic crap.
And they use it as an excuse to excuse the behavior, too. It's like, oh, well, I saw this online, but, it doesn't excuse that behavior, and it's disgusting.
It is. I'll tell you what, this is sexist, but the sororities are smarter, and they don't even come close to the idiotic hazing. They just don't. They don't have the same antics. They don't have the same behavior, and it's because they're women. And I mean that. They're smarter, they're more mature, they do more positive things. But, man, And
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I get it. I mean, I have friends in sororities. I have friends who have just recently joined fraternities, and just hearing the difference between even the initiation processes and everything. And not saying that all fraternities are also bad, and also there are some sororities that, get a bad rap for some of their actions as well. But generally, it is crazy to hear just the difference between the brotherhood and the sisterhood.
My daughter was dating a guy at WVU. When he was hazed at his fraternity, he was hospitalized. And his dad was in that fraternity and thought that was cool. I'll tell you right now, there ain't no fraternity putting my son in the hospital with booze and drugs, and they're falling on broken glass and hospitalized. This still happens, and it happens 1,000 times more in fraternities, does it not, Michaela?
Oh, it 100% does. I definitely know that there have been instances with sororities, but never as much as you see with fraternities. And it's scary because, again, you have these young, first year in college, and all they want to do is make friends. All they want to do is make a good impression, because there really is such a big social hierarchy in college still. And they will do anything to get that social status, to feel a part of something. And the older kids take advantage of that. And every year there's been deaths. There's been, like you said, hospitalizations. And I feel like, as much as there's been, colleges will intervene, it's not stopping anything.
No, it isn't. It aggravates the hell out of me. I love you. I think you're spot on. I love your honesty. When my daughter and her friends go out, they watch what the other person, when they're handed a drink, and some of them have these covers. Have you seen these, the cover for the drink?
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. I think those are very, very smart.
Wow. Michaela, thank you. It's fantastic stuff. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Talk to you again. I love her because she's honest and she's living it, and she, the stuff with the date rape drug is disgusting, and beyond that, it's criminal, and it's frightening. And it's embraced by some groups, and that's even worse. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up, my friend?
All right, what's up is we can deliver some good pre-noontime traffic report here in terms of lack of delays. So if you need to head to and through any of the major arteries to get into downtown or through the Golden Triangle, you have a pretty good ride as we approach noon. No major problems on the Parkway East or on 28 southbound. Parkway North I-279 rolls well. Parkway West just has a minor delay right at the mouth of the Fort Pitt tunnels right now. Heads up, though, as you are traveling through Ross Draver Township, Westmoreland County overnight tonight. Beginning at 8 tonight until 6 tomorrow morning, that's Friday, you'll find a single lane restriction around shoulder repairs. This is on eastbound Interstate 70. It'll happen between exit 44 for Arnold City and exit 49 for Smithton. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
You know what I love? The punchki. Oakmont Bakery's punchkis. Delicious. Strawberry cream, cherry, raspberry, blueberry, Pittsburgh cream, Oakmont cream, lemon, maple bacon, cookies and cream, apple cinnamon, peanut butter. The punchki rocks. You've got to try the punchki at Oakmont Bakery. Handmade, homemade, unbelievable treat at Oakmont Bakery right now. You know what I say about punchki? They're delicious. Oakmont Bakery rocks.
New to Medicare, get covered with MediConnect. Listen Wednesdays around 1:20 to hear Lance O'Brien of MediConnect help you navigate the Medicare process. Simply great, unbiased information to get you the best healthcare coverage. Get covered with MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
Rob Pierce is one of the go-to guys anywhere in America when it comes to anything involving damages, injuries. For instance, he's representing a significant number of folks who have been harmed by using these new miracle drugs, as they're called. Right? Ozempic. Last week I called Rob Pierce about a woman who is having a very difficult time with a trust, has a very difficult time with her family. Rob Pierce handled it. If there's a medical malpractice case, Robert Pierce and his firm handle it. They will give you a free consultation. One of the most engaged, one of the most active attorneys and law practices I've ever seen in my career. Medical malpractice, personal injury. Fantastic, fantastic law firm. Robert Pierce and Associates. 412-214-7477. 412-214-7477.
Larry Richard with Len Lacina from Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory. Len, why have customers trusted Lacina for over 60 years?
It's simple, Larry. It's Lacina's quality, experience, and price. When customers compare Lacina with the competition, we're confident they'll find Lacina's craftsmanship and pricing unmatched.
Visit Lacina in Dormont or Wexford or call 412-665-4900 to schedule your free in-home consultation. Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory. Quality you deserve, prices you'll appreciate.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. Don't miss out on this special deal, regularly priced at $49.95, but for a limited time, only $39.95. Save $10 per silver bar. Limit of 25 bars per customer. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $250 in savings and free shipping on every order. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value free. Call 1-800-386-7195 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Bars for only $39.95. That's 1-800-386-7195.
Check this out. You know, JK's my man. He's the restaurant king in Oakmont. Calls me yesterday. Says, Marty, Tuesdays at the Lot, 4 p.m. to close. The Lot at Edgewater. Gorgeous, gorgeous restaurant. All you can eat crab legs. Unbelievable. Snow crab clusters, salad, muffins. Delicious. All you can eat. One price. This place is unbelievable. The Lot at Edgewater. You know who loves it? Mark Sorreo from Oakmont Bakery. Don't tell anyone.
This is the time of the year when a lot of people want to set new goals for the new year. I just sat down with Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist, Dan Vitchoff. I've known Dan for many years. He's helped a lot of people. Hi, this is Larry Richard. So what are your goals? You want to lose weight? You want to stop smoking or dealing with anxiety? A lot of people are dealing with that. Call the PA Hypnosis Center today. You can set up a no-obligation free consultation at 724-934-8446. Just mention KDKA. Dan will give you $100 off any gift certificate so you can gift this opportunity. And with the PA Hypnosis Center and Dan Vitchoff, he'll offer you a 98% success guarantee. So whatever your goals are, achieve them. You can by calling 724-934-8446, the PA Hypnosis Center with Dan Vitchoff. Call now.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's the KDKA Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week. Powered by Bowser Chevrolet. We bring you the best players, the best sounds of the game, and the best matchups in the WPIAL.
Thursday at 6.
In girls action, Thomas Jefferson hosts Baldwin. Presented by Coons Quality Foods, the official store of high school basketball. Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine, official sports medicine of high school basketball. Tobacco-free Adagio Health. And brought to you by Parmar Stores. If there isn't a Parmar store near you, there will be soon. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. Hear about it. Then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
This is for the stoners, the potheads. If you're blowing a doob right now or hitting on the bong or vaping or whatever the hell you do. No disrespect. I can't stand drunks or stoners. They annoy the hell out of me. Why? They have no control. The stoners just sit there like an old couch. And that aggravates me. What? Who's that? What do you want to do? No, it doesn't affect me at all. The impact of medical marijuana has been astounding. In fact, we got a lot of very important women because their kids were having insane problems with seizures in front of the governor, Corbett, when he was in office and we were friends, to get medical marijuana legalized here. And they did, and their kids have 1/20th the seizures they used to. Veterans with PTSD, folks in severe pain, anxiety, depression. Medical marijuana is fantastic. Love it. And ask Tom Corbett if you see him. We fought our asses off with him to get that done. The legal stuff, who cares? It ain't happening. And I hate to blow your wad if you're out there getting ready to bong up and you think it's going to pass because Shapiro said it would. It ain't happening. It's just not. It will not pass this year, I'm told. And it will not pass next year. I had stoner roommates in college. They grew their own weed, and they would ride up into the mountains. This is in Ohio. They called it Meigs County Green, I think. I forget now. Dude, I was so high, I forget. And they'd bring back on their trail motorcycles these massive Sensimillion buds, and they'd sold it out of our house. Isn't that special? I think I'm past the statute of limitations, or even statute. So, a study just came out underlining my point about, what do you guys want? Heavy marijuana use could have lasting marks on your memory. Duh. Largest study of its kind. 1,000 young adult stoners. The researchers then studied neural response during a magnetic resonance imaging session and gave them tasks to complete. Memory was affected. Emotion, language, motor skills, such as tapping a finger on a map. Heavy users, more than 1,000 times more likely to have some sort of debilitating problem. Moderate users, 10 to 990 times more likely. Non-users, fewer than 10 times. Listen to this. Researchers found that 63% of heavy lifetime cannabis users, exhibited reduced brain activity during a working memory task. Who? Here's the other thing. The bureaucrats get their hands on it and screw it up. And I use California as the perfect example of bureaucratic, moronic behavior. And Colorado. The morons tax it so much that they can't sell it. So what happens is the stoners, they go out and buy illegal pot because it's 40% cheaper because the idiots taxed the legal pot. And so what happens is right now, California has $6 billion worth of legal surplus pot, and they can't ship it to other states. What? Write this down. Marijuana legal will not pass in Pennsylvania this year. It will not. There are a whole lot of Republicans who are going to jack that up, and it may not pass next year. Dude, too bad. Dude.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Over 65 and still on your employer's health insurance? Not sure what's best for you to do? Contact the One Health Benefits team and get excellent advice from their professionals on the best options for your needs. One Health Benefits has been providing people with customized health benefit choices for over 2 decades. You only know what you know, so let the One Health Benefits experts help you with what they know. Call One Health Benefits today, 724-799-8873. Learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? with credit card debt reaching all-time highs. National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-1010. 800-885-1010. Again, that's 800-885-1010.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 43 degrees. 12 o'clock, I'm David Colorado. Allegheny County Police continue to investigate last night's officer-related shooting by Pittsburgh Police. This was around 5 p.m. on the 100 block of Hyman Place in the Hill District. A security guard at an apartment complex had seen an armed man. He called police. The man was shot by officers after he disobeyed calls to drop the weapon. He died later at a local hospital. The head of the city's police union is reacting to last night's events. FOP President Bob Schwartzwelder tells KDKA's Marty Griffin, not only did the dozen or so officers looking for the armed man have to make split-second decisions about the use of deadly force, but they were also distracted by the civilians following them and recording video.
We don't know what viewpoints they're going to post on social media or things like that. So then they had to worry about the civilians that were self-involving themselves in a very dangerous situation.
He says officers had the added concern about keeping civilians out of any crossfire. After 7 seasons with the Penguins, Kevin Acklin has resigned as the team's president of business operations. He will remain with the Penguins as an advisor until the end of the year. He joined the Penguins in 2018 as senior vice president and general counsel and was named president of business operations in 2022. In a statement, Acklin says he's looking forward to the next steps in his career and continuing his service to Pittsburgh. With egg prices showing no sign of coming down anytime soon, there may be some long-term good news. A groundbreaking treatment for bird flu is on the horizon. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has details.
Researchers at Pitt say this new antibody-based immune vaccine found to protect against severe disease caused by the H5N1 avian flu has been tested safely on humans. Doug Reed, associate professor of immunology at Pitt, says this new research also sets the stage for the development of vaccines that would protect against all future influenza viruses.
Because it would be important that it protect not just against bird flu, but also against the regular human influenza viruses that circulate every year. So if a new virus arose, we wouldn't need a new vaccine to target that. That's the hope.
He says we're likely to see these new antibodies come on the market in a few years. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
What does one world leader give another? Well, this week's case is raising eyebrows for some. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez explains.
The Times of Israel says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gifted President Trump a golden pager when the two men met at the White House Tuesday. It was a nod to the attacks in Lebanon that killed more than 30 people and injured over 3,400 in September. And thousands of rigged pagers used by Hezbollah operatives exploded. Upon receiving the gift, the report says Mr. Trump called it a great operation. In return, the president gave Netanyahu a photo of the two men signed to Bibi, a great leader. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
On Wall Street at this hour, the market is mixed. The Dow is currently down 133 points, but the Nasdaq is higher by just about 8 points. Same thing with the S&P 500. KDKA Sports tonight on the high school basketball game of the week. It's a girls matchup. Baldwin at Thomas Jefferson. Countdown to tip-off begins at 6. If he passes a physical, Tommy Pham will join the Bucks after signing a one-year deal worth a little over $4 million. The veteran outfielder has played for 9 teams over 11 seasons. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. For your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. And by Special Olympics Pennsylvania's Pittsburgh Polar Plunge. KDK Radio News time 12:03. Time to call Store Express, Pittsburgh's trusted storage solution with convenient locations citywide. Right now around the region, it is 46 degrees and cloudy. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-859-5500. 800-859-5500. Again, that's 800-859-5500.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly cloudy and warming up this afternoon. We'll have a high of 51. Partial clearing tonight, breezy with a low of 29, then colder with clouds and sun and a high of 36 tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Par-Mar store. See for yourself. Download the Par-Mar stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrili reminding you that if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Okay, I have Congressman Chris DeLuzio, but I want to play this clip from 2 days ago with Trump talking about Gaza before I get to the congressman to get his feedback. Listen to Trump 2 days ago.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. Level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
One of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard in my life. Just saying. Congressman Chris DeLuzio, good morning, sir. How are you? Good afternoon.
Hey, good morning. Hey, Marty, thanks for having me on.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Come on, Chris.
Marty, when I first ran for Congress,
come on.
The very first stump speech I gave in the Thornburg Park, we're talking 2021, we had Joe Biden in the White House. I said that my standard for whether I would ever send Americans to fight is a simple one. If I can look people in the eye in my district who would be sent to fight, or look a parent or grandparent in the eye and say, hey, their kid or grandkid could risk their life, that is my standard. And let me tell you, sending American service members to bleed and fight in Gaza does not meet that standard. I'm not going to vote to send young Americans off to Gaza to kick people out of their homes, and it is not in our interest to do that. I'm not going to support it.
Again, dumbest idea I've heard in 10 years. And the way he talked about it, Chris, is as if it's some real estate deal. Came off like that, did it not, sir?
Yeah, and look, I think for too long, people turned a blind eye to the cost of this adventurism of Americans in the Middle East. I'm a veteran of Iraq. We have so many of my generation who served there in Afghanistan. People bear the costs of war who we go and make these decisions. And I think it requires a very strong response, a very clear answer that we are not sending Americans to go fight like this. We are not going to risk American lives and treasure that's not worth our national interest to do it. And I think that's what you've heard from folks. I'd like to hear some more Republicans say the same because I think everybody knows this is crazy.
No, they know it's crazy. And this crap about creating the Riviera of the Middle East. Come on, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man. Damn. And Chris, at the end of the day, you're taking 2 million people and saying, get the hell out of here, leave your home, move somewhere else. That ain't happening, is it, sir?
No, and Marty, remember, there's a fragile ceasefire holding right now. We still have hostages that got to get out under that deal. And the response of Israel's Arab neighbors, which quickly condemned what the president proposed, puts at risk that ceasefire holding. The suffering when the fighting happened was tremendous. There are still hostages, again, that we got to get out of there. And I think we need American leadership up through the president to do everything they can to get that agreement to hold so we can build toward a lasting peace. And right now it's a fragile one.
You said something important. Even if he wanted to do that, he can't get the funding. And even if he got the funding, American troops would die there. They would die there, would they not, sir?
You send Americans in harm's way, there is always a risk. And I think sending Americans into Gaza is just, it's insane, and you're not going to have support from guys like me in the Congress to do it. And I think if you go and talk to the American people, and let's be clear, Donald Trump campaigned on, I'm not going to go and send Americans off to stupid wars anymore. Yep. That's something he talked about. And you know what? I agree that we shouldn't send Americans off to dumb wars. And we got to hold them to it.
They've been fighting for 5,000 years, sir, unfortunately. And they're going to be fighting 5,000 more. And the notion of putting a resort there is ridiculous and cannot happen. Why won't Republicans call BS on this, Chris?
Look, I hope they will. And I think you heard a little bit of that. From I think Senator Lindsey Graham said some things yesterday. I'd like to see more of them just say when he's wrong. President Biden was in office the first 2 years of my time in Congress. I thought he should have sacked his defense secretary, and I said it. I think you need people willing to stand up for what's right, no matter who's in office.
Man. All right, let's go closer to home.
Yep.
What's happening in East Palestine? Are you happy, sir? Are you pleased?
No, Marty, I'm not. I'm not. We still haven't passed rail safety legislation. I was glad, Vice President Vance went back to visit at the 2-year anniversary. In fact, I invited him over to the Pennsylvania side as well. And I think we got to keep the pressure up because we still haven't gotten action. And what I said, I was in Tarentum just before that to reintroduce my bill. I've got bipartisan buy-in to include the member of Congress who represents East Palestine. I said it then. I was like, look, the vice president who was with John Fetterman and Bob Casey and Sherrod Brown and me on this bill last time, put some pressure on congressional leadership. Let's pass the damn bill. It's been 2 years, and folks have seen nothing from the Congress on this.
What about some of the legal settlements? You think they've been fair to victims?
Look, I've stayed out of weighing in because I think everyone's situation's different, and I'm not going to tell somebody if they think it's worth doing or they want to fight for more. I think what they should expect their federal government to do, though, number one, is to change the rules around rail safety. Number two, make sure we are funding long-term health monitoring and research, which is part of why this funding freeze could hurt, say, NIH, National Institutes of Health funding for things exactly like this. But I think they need our federal government to be committed to overseeing this cleanup, and this railroad pays for it. But to fundamentally change the rules around rail safety. That's what folks expect our federal government to do. I talk to my constituents who, Marty, live all around the tracks, and that's what the reality is for our neighbors in East Palestine, too.
Congressman DeLuzio, isn't it a fact that trains like that one are on the rails right now, going through small towns in America right now?
Yeah, and if you live along the tracks in western Pennsylvania, you hear those trains, right? We know they're longer. I had the Congressional Research Service give me the numbers. Almost half of my constituents live within a mile of the tracks.
Whoa.
95% live within 5 miles.
Whoa.
And you talk to officials in these small communities. I said I was in Tarentum last week where I had to help those guys get Norfolk Southern to fix a crossing. The rail crossings have become real sources of danger. Cheswick's got one of the most dangerous crossings in the Northeast. So pushing the railroads to do better, and frankly for the Congress to fund some of the work to make these crossings safer, that is a real concrete thing we can do to protect people in Western Pennsylvania, and that we should be doing.
John Fetterman gets beat up for some of his I stand with Trump stuff. I'm a fan of bipartisan support for issues that make sense to all of us. Do you not agree, sir?
Look, we got to find places to do some things, and we have to disagree on some things. Like that's what it is. I talk about there's been this push on, government efficiency and making government work better. Okay, great. You know where they should take a look? The Pentagon. But I haven't seen much interest in that. And I think people want our government not to waste public money. They want our military to have what they need. They want to see veterans care delivered on time and the best that we can do. That requires you to look at, the way we have contractors who I think get paid too much and don't compete enough for our military work. So sure, let's look at those problems and do something about it. Let's do something on rail safety. And then when I see an administration hurting my people, I'll stand up and fight. This funding freeze, I think, really could have hurt our police departments, our research, our schools. It's frozen for now, but my goodness, so it's a crazy thing to even try to do. And I think we got to be clear about places to work together, and then also where we're going to hold the line and fight.
Hey, Chris, work-life balance. How hard is it, because you have a very young family, to put those crazy hours in D.C., to afford to live there, and then to see your family? How hard is it, sir?
Well, you will never hear me complain about this job. And my kids, thankfully, are young enough that when I come home, I still get a hug, and they're glad to see me. So I'm enjoying that part of life with them. And look, I rush home after votes so I can see my kids and do the job in the district. I think folks who spend too much time down in Washington lose sight of that. And my family's a strong pull for me to always be home.
You have a town hall tonight, telephone town hall?
We do. Telephone town hall tonight, 6 o'clock. And folks can sign up on my website or check it out on the Facebook page.
Chris Deluzio, thanks, Congressman.
Thanks, Marty. Take care.
Guy cares and gets it. Seriously.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
I went to high school with Bob Tootie from Tootie Mechanical. So I've known him, 40 plus years? His business is insane. Tootie Mechanical. The service is unbelievable. The professionalism is unbelievable. And the help, man, they've put 400 free furnaces in homes. Tootie Mechanical is the best for HVAC I've ever seen in my career. They're amazing people, amazing service. Tootie, 412-771-4100. Call them. Hey, folks, Marty. Why did MediConnect choose to sponsor the Warmathon and KDKA Radio? Well, their folks see firsthand the pressures, financial pressures, seniors are facing every day. No senior should overpay for services that may be included in over 70 different Medicare options. There's never a fee for MediConnect's top-rated service to assist seniors in finding the right Medicare plan. Call MediConnect, 888-818-6334, or visit MediConnectInsurance.com.
When he's good, he's thorough good. When he's bad, he's the baddest. George Thorogood and the Destroyers. the baddest show on earth. Saturday, February 22nd, the Event Center at Rivers Casino. Tickets on sale now. Visit riverscasino.com or inside Rivers Casino. George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. I love NASCO, and my friends at NASCO Roofing, they're working year-round. So while it's wintry outside, this is a great time to get your roof project going with a free estimate from NASCO. They're the region's roofing leader. Roofs are all NASCO does, and they're the only company I want on my roof with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. NASCO's skilled teams exceed expectations. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on materials and labor. NASCO, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. That's NASCO.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
CBS Eye on Veterans, presented by American Military University. Army combat veteran Aaron Knowles, founder of Shred the Stress, credits the electric skate-style board, the One Wheel, with helping him overcome PTSD. And he shares how surfing the land gives him the zen he desperately needed.
Sometimes in the morning, I just get up and I'll take my board out, and on top of my backpack, I have like a nice little speaker that plays so I can hear it in my helmet, and I'll just put on some tunes, and I carve down the trail. And I'm just enjoying the sunrise, I'm enjoying the view, I'm enjoying the water, and you can't help but love and embrace the world in a moment like that.
CBS Eye on Veterans is presented by American Military University. Veterans and their families receive 10% off undergraduate and master's level programs at American Military University, where your service is honored with savings.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
There's this idiotic show on CNN at night. This is why people hate the media. Every night, I think it's 9 o'clock, it's 5 insanely far-left progressive Democratic blabbermouths and 1 Republican. What's his name, Patrick? The Republican guy who I love him.
Oh, I'm forgetting his name. This is the Abby Phillip show on
Yes,
CNN.
Abby Phillip, who annoys the hell out of me because she's so liberal. But it's fine. She has her own little show. But this guy is a rock star. But I got to be honest, Fox at that time has 5x the ratings, 5 times. And I pay attention to this stuff because it's my living. I'm going to find his name. He's really good. And what CNN does, because they think they're trying to do better, which they're not, they're still ridiculously obnoxious. And I mean that in the nicest way. So is Fox, by the way. They're just obnoxious on the other side. So what CNN does now to say that they're fair and balanced is they put 5 liberals, crazy liberals, screaming liberals, and 1 conservative. And they throw out a topic, and they all chat, and then they kick his ass. It's bizarre. It's Wall Street Journal just did a great piece on him. But he's really good, but Scott Jennings. And look, he makes a hell of a living. He really does a good job. But there's a reason why folks have lost their faith in media. You watch that crap. Anderson Cooper, come on. Jake, what's his name? Jake Tapper. He hates Trump. And by the way, Jake's talented. They're all talented. But here's what bothers me when people say, wow, she's brilliant or he's brilliant. A brilliant man or a brilliant woman does not wake up every day and eat the same thing for breakfast, even if they don't like it. And that's what they do at CNN, and that's what they do at Fox. And the worst of all, gives me stomach cramps listening to her. Rachel Maddow. Oh, that woman. Woo! Fox does the same thing, by the way. They put 9 conservatives on a set and 1 liberal, and they kick the crap out of them. We're balanced. No, you're not. It's ignorant. I don't know where I would go if I was just a regular person, but I wouldn't keep it on one channel. My father-in-law, who I love, watches Fox 24 hours a day. Well, that's just not. You're not getting the truth. Just like if you watch CNN 24 hours a day. With no exaggeration, when I get up for the first hour and a half when I'm up, all I do is look at content from all over the world. And I mean 100 publications, at least. All the networks, everywhere. And then I post snippets on X. Why X? It's immediate. We have a massive following on Facebook, and I respect and admire it, but we seem to get more response, like 100,000 people with videos on Facebook. X is like, fire started. Here's the fire. X is very immediate. We use them all. I know people like to say I hate social media. Okay. But we need it. Most of the people that we end up helping, and we've helped a lot of people, comes from people reaching out through either X or Instagram or Facebook, or emailing me at getmarty@kdkaradio.com. I don't think the folks at CNN are bad people, or Fox, or MSNBC. I just think they're afraid. Because they got what they got, and they ain't letting go of it. And what happened at CNN is they lost a lot of the middle folks to MSNBC. And then they lost. And now Fox is kicking everyone's ass. Everyone. It's bad. But I wish they would make it a little fair on CNN and Fox. But they don't. They are what they are. I pick a side every day. The greatest compliment you can pay to me, and it happens all the time, is, man, I don't know what party you are. I don't know if you're a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Independent. I'm none of those things. I'm a guy that picks a side and tries to make a difference. And we all should do that every single day. Trump has had big victories. And when he hits a home run, we're going to run the bases with him. But when he strikes out with this Gaza, this Middle East on the Riviera crap, we're calling crap. Just like a father would with his family. We got to do the right thing.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. Don't miss out on this special deal. Regularly priced at $49.95, but for a limited time, only $39.95. Save $10 per silver bar. Limit of 25 bars per customer. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $250 in savings and free shipping on every order. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value free. Call 1-800-386-7195 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan silver bars for only $39.95. That's 1-800-386-7195.
Hey, this is Lisa from Nest Expressions Window Fashions. As we all expected, Nest Expressions has grown out of its old gallery in less than 3 years, and I have built Pittsburgh's one and only state-of-the-art Hunter Douglas Galleries. 2015 Village Run Road is where you'll exclusively find the newest shades, shutters, and blinds from Hunter Douglas. And don't forget, I have the most passion in Pittsburgh for draperies. So call 724-933-5500 or simply nestexpressions.com.
Hey, folks, this morning I want to talk about my favorite family-owned construction business, the three cousins at C&S Cousins Construction. Local guys, Sam, Steve, Calvin. They keep working right now through the winter months. If you're looking to winterproof your home, new windows, doors, siding, even a beautiful new outdoor living space built in time for summer, deck, porch, patio, call them now. Just mention Get Marty, 10% off your entire project. C&S Cousins Construction, 989-COUSINS, 989-COUSINS.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 47 degrees in Pittsburgh at 12:30. I'm David Colorado. A man is in custody in Westmoreland County charged in the killing of his live-in girlfriend. The DA's office there says 34-year-old Robert Chaplin shot 35-year-old Estela Vasquez late last night at their home on the 800 block of Route 136 in Ross River. Chaplin was denied bond. Prosecutors say there were children in the home at the time of the shooting. They're now safe and staying with relatives. Federal workers are inching closer to the White House deadline to accept a proposed resignation offer. The Trump administration gave employees until tonight to make that decision as President Trump continues to push for cutbacks within the federal government. CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi has more.
We have reported that about 40,000 federal workers have already taken that proposed buyout. That's a drop in the bucket for about the 2 million federal workers that there are in the U.S. government.
If you live in Allegheny County and you still haven't received your tax bills yet, you're not alone. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has more.
Allegheny County Council President Pat Katina says hundreds of thousands of county residents have yet to receive their tax statements. He tells Marty Griffin that the best practice is to have them out about 60 days in advance to give people ample time to prepare, which means many folks should have had them in hand by the end of January.
Anytime that we're late when getting the bills out, that has a domino effect. For instance, like mortgage companies. Mortgage companies have to get the bills in, and they have obviously a set amount of time. So if they don't have bills in hand, obviously that creates a problem.
He says the latest update he's received from the Treasury Department was that the bills should start going out next week and be received in people's hands by next Friday. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow down 142 points. The Nasdaq is higher, though, up 28, and the S&P 500 is up 9 points. KDK Radio News time 12:31. Our next update's at 1. I'm David Ballarano on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Look, this is the time of the year when you start seeing stuff around your windows because it gets wet, it gets icy, okay? So we have this bay window in the front of our house. It needs to be replaced. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, man. I got to call Universal Windows Direct. Why? It's the holiday season. It's the new year. A lot going on. But what they're doing, folks, is they're offering this unbelievable special right now. Right now. They have the best windows, the best insulation, the best guarantees. Right now, every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. No limit. Buy 4, get 4 free. Okay? Buy 8, get 8 free. Also, 0% financing for 60 months. 5 years, folks, of interest-free payments. It's a great company. They have a great product. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Free in-home estimate. It's a great company. Check it out.
Fabulous February savings at Coons Market.
Fresh boneless, skinless chicken breasts or tenders, $2.49 a pound. Pink Lady apples, 4-pound bags, $2.99 each. And Mrs. T pierogies, 12 to 16-ounce boxes, $1.88 each. Come see us at Coons.
Hello, this is Sarah Botkin.
president of Botkin Family Wealth Management. That's me singing in the background. When I was young, I dreamed of a career in music. I remember living in New York City and my dad suggesting I stop being a starving artist and come home to Pittsburgh to join his financial planning practice. And after surviving the September 11th attacks, that's what I did. I became a certified financial planner professional, and 10 years later, Dad and I, along with my brother Lester, left our Wall Street brokerage to open an independent financial planning firm. Becoming a business owner, working with my family, and helping our clients be successful has been a dream come true. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we understand that dreams can change. For me and maybe for you. Let us help you navigate the changes. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-809-7991. That's 800-809-7991. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-809-7991. That's 800-809-7991 today.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Warming up this afternoon. Will stay mostly cloudy, though, with a high of 51. Partial clearing and breezy with a low of 29 tonight, then times of clouds and sun, high 36 tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Has your home or business been damaged by fire, water, or storm? Even when dealing with insurance, you have a choice who repairs and cleans up the mess. Call Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh.
The man, the yellow van, call Service Master.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, Thursday. Here we are, Lisa Lauro coming up, and at 3 today, a really great story about a father and son doing special things. Plus, watch out for that ice, I guess. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6 today, right here. Okay.
So my egg farmer friend said the next thing that's going to go through the roof is chicken. Stands to reason. Chicken. Never talked about eggs so much in my whole life. It's kind of an interesting way to look at the economy and what happens when 20 million chickens die, or they put them to sleep. But I'm told by guys that raise these chickens that that's the next thing that's going to explode in price. Makes sense. I'm going to talk about one of my friends leaving a very, very high-profile job, but I want to talk about this weed thing. The people I know in Harrisburg that have power say there's no way legalized marijuana passes. Okay? No way. I don't know why we do this dance. It's like 3 times a year. We're going to pass legal marijuana. Then the governor comes on and says, it's $177 million to the state. And then we go, oh, wow, we're going to pass. And then we bring on one of 2 people. Patrick Nightingale, who's a good guy. He's a weed lawyer. And or the other guy. That's it. And then they say weed is good and we all move on. Let me give you the facts. There are strong lobbies, this is the inside, on both sides. On the folks that don't like it, they have medical professionals that are pushing back, saying it's a gateway drug. I've heard that. Others point to states that legalized it. This comes from insiders. I just got these notes, so I'll pass them along to you. Others point to states that legalized it and point out that the issues that they are having, tax revenue, arrests, rehabilitations, When they were in Colorado, they were talking to Uber drivers, surprised to find out that Colorado is an opt-in state, meaning that it's up to municipalities whether they want to have marijuana legal in municipalities or not. Some of them don't want to deal with the mess, the druggies hanging around, tax collection, securing the facilities. Additionally, there is no one in the legislature on either side of the aisle, at least in the Senate, that's pushing the legalization. Oops. Kind of a problem, Governor. How about that? Now, here's where the light goes on. When Fetterman was lieutenant governor, all he talked about was legalization. It's true. It's a big deal for John. He went around the state doing town halls. True again. But now that he's a U.S. senator, we haven't heard a peep out of him about legal weed. I haven't either. Have you? No. He moved on. And it's interesting because a lot of folks don't want to legalize marijuana because it's illegal on the federal level, and a federal law supersedes a state law. Thus, you can't get banks to take the money. It's a pain in the ass, to be perfectly honest. If he wants to, Fetterman should sponsor a law to legalize it. He hasn't. There is hesitancy from banks and credit card companies. They don't want involved in the financial transaction. Wow. Some of the medicinal marijuana money is kept in vaults throughout Pennsylvania in cash. It is. If that's not an invitation to do whatever someone wants to do with the cash, I don't know what is. Yeah, they have mounds of cash. It's true. It's bizarre, but it's true. Everything this person writes is true. There you go. I don't like stoners or drunks. With all due respect to the stoners out there. But let me say this about pot. There's never been a single overdose on marijuana. Ever. Not one. I haven't seen pot other than on drug raids. In other words, I haven't seen someone smoking a joint or rolling a joint since I was in college. I haven't used marijuana maybe a little bit when I was in my early 20s. I don't know. When I had insane pain from chemotherapy and radiation, one of my friends sent me medical pills. I couldn't take them because I was on specialized drugs, immunotherapy. I had insane pain and pneumonia when I was hospitalized last year. Do we have Pat there? Let's grab him. Thanks. And I took a gummy. I didn't like it. I can't stand not being in control. So so you folks understand this, medical marijuana will not pass this year, maybe not next. I admire and respect the hell out of Pat Catena, County Council President, who's been working his ass off to get the county treasurer to do her damn job and send out the tax bills. My man has been pushing the ball up the hill, and he has an update for us. And he's kind enough to call. Pat, what's up? What's happening?
How are you? I just wanted to provide a quick update. So I heard from the treasurer, and the first batch of tax bills are physically going out from the North Side Post Office today. So those should start hitting over the weekend. And then every day there'll be another batch going out. So hopefully everyone should have tax bills in hand by the end of next week, next Friday.
Okay, so she's moving the ball.
Yes.
And getting them out today. Where? What did you say? Just the North Side?
The North Side Post Office handles all the tax bills, so they go out through the North Side Post Office.
And did she explain to you why there's been such a delay when you talked to her? Because she won't talk to us.
No. I mean, I know that originally there was a printing issue, is what I was originally told. But still, it doesn't justify them. I mean, like I said, best practice is have them out 60 days ahead of time, and that would be March 30th. So we want to give people basically, get them out the last week of January, I would say.
Hey, Pat, you talked yesterday about this discount period. What's going to happen with that, sir?
I have a motion on our agenda for County Council next Tuesday to extend the discount period, the 2% discount period, because it's not right to penalize taxpayers of Allegheny County for the bills going out late. So I want to extend the discount period by at least 30 days. So that would take the discount period, rather than bills being due March 30th, people could still pay them up until April 30th to get the 2% discount. And then after that, they would get extended, but they'd have until May to pay the face value on the taxes without any penalties or what have you. So we're extending it to make sure that no penalties, people don't get hit with penalties basically because of us not being able to get the tax bills on in a timely fashion.
And I would imagine mortgage companies start looking for these bills because they pay those taxes for many of us, right?
Right, and huge mortgage companies. Yep. I mean, CoreLogic, for instance, they're looking for their tax bills because they expect them to. There's thousands of people that those mortgage companies process, and it's a big deal that they need to get them in hand and get them processed.
You're the man. I appreciate you doing this, man. A lot of people are waiting on you. Thanks for delivering, brother.
You're welcome. Take care, Marty.
You're the best. All right, so there you go. Without him, without media pressure, that doesn't happen. So, that is what we call breaking news and good news. They finally got their act together in the treasurer's office. She's afraid of me, won't call me back, won't even text me. It's kind of interesting. But you just heard Pat Catena, the county council president, who I love. They will send some of them out from the North Side Post Office today. All right. You'll have them all by next week. We'll make sure of it.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
When you buy appliances, they break. It's just the truth. Check this out. Voss TV and Appliance, they have their own crews, their own folks, techs that fix this stuff, and they're magnificent. Here's the other thing about Voss. Our dishwasher broke. They got a new dishwasher in our house within a week and a half. In this marketplace, in crazy weather, during crazy times. Voss TV and Appliance, 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS.
Zero Res wants to give your home the love and attention it deserves. This month only, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $119, plus the 4th room clean free, and $75 off your air duct cleaning. 412-701-1188.
So, the best tree service, the best, most highly trained, the best pricing, the safest, the most reliable, the most professional, and they do free tree service for veterans, World War II veterans. They're the most amazing people I ever met. My man Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. I'm telling you, branches, trees, you name it, the biggest jobs and the smallest jobs. 412-415-7331. 412-415-7331. Call them.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. And there are so many of them. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms and hire us instead, I wonder why they ever called the other firm in the first place. They were smart to switch before it was too late. You only get one day in court. You know who has the resources and results to fight to handle your claim. And the big insurance company on the other side, they know it too. They know us well. You have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. Walk our way. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's the KDKA Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week, powered by Bowser Chevrolet. Every Friday at 6, we bring you the best players, the best sounds of the game, and the best matchups in the WPIAL. This week, Mount Lebanon hits the road against Upper St. Clair. Presented by Coons Quality Foods, the official store of high school basketball. Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine, official sports medicine of high school basketball. Tobacco-free Adagio Health. And brought to you by Parmar Stores. If there isn't a Parmar store near you, there will be soon. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. News on the labor front ahead of tomorrow's January jobs report. Initial jobless claims up by 11,000 last week to 219,000. That's still near pre-COVID levels. Meantime, outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas reported nearly 50,000 planned corporate layoffs in January. The tech sector leading the way in cuts as more firms integrate AI into their business. On Wall Street, concerns about tomorrow's jobs report and a mixed bag of earnings reports have the major averages mixed, but mostly lower. The Dow is down about 1/3%. The Nasdaq and the S&P just modestly higher. Shares of Ford Motors down 6.5%, saying profit could tumble by $2 billion this year because of lower vehicle prices, Trump's threatened tariffs, and the cost of launching a number of new models later this year. It also is losing money on its EV lineup. And the NFL is headed to Australia, playing one regular season game in 2026 in Melbourne. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
What I don't understand is, because this is important, you heard what Pat said about mortgage companies and about folks getting a discount and how this is all screwed up because of this new treasurer, and who I don't know. I just don't. She's afraid of me, won't call back. Won't even text. Won't have her staff call back. I don't really give a damn about me. I just want business owners and homeowners to have their damn tax bill. I can't wrap my arms around how the hell this happened. Second year in a row. And she's been in office 2 years in a row. John Weinstein is what they call the GOAT. In terms of treasurers, the greatest of all time. This was like clockwork, man. I mean, he's legendary for it. Just saying. My friend Jim knows this game. Do you not, sir?
Well, a little bit, especially that office.
Tell our listeners how you know that office and what's going on here.
Well, I was John Weinstein's personnel director at one time. See, when John became treasurer, it was during a time where there were 8 million employees that did nothing politically. So John professionalized that staff. He streamlined that staff. But he also knew there were hundreds of thousands of tax bills that had to go out. So what John did was, during tax season, no one was allowed to take vacation. No one was allowed to be off. And if you were off, you better have a good reason for it. He created a program where you could, after work, between 4 and like 7:30, you could get overtime. And that's what them folks did every night before tax, before the bills needed to go out, to get those bills out. And it was really ingenious because you didn't need them extra 25, 30 employees the rest of the year. So he worked it out that way. And that's why the bills were always out on time, because we started that a couple months beforehand. She doesn't know that, so she's trying to do the day-to-day and do that. She doesn't have the staff to do it.
Hold on, man. Why the hell wouldn't she know what works? I don't understand that. She's been there 2 years, brother.
Because if you look at her staff, all these folks she brought in and gave these exorbitant raises to, they have no experience in tax collecting.
Well,
even
hold on,
myself,
man. That's her damn job, brother.
It is her job, but the people elected her. I didn't elect her. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, get real here. They elected her. They wanted a woke treasurer. Well, now they got a woke treasurer with no bills. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Marty, she should know her job, but she don't. So you bring in a look, John Weinstein's chief deputy could do that job blindfolded. She gave a $50,000 raise to somebody she hired who has no experience in doing this.
Oh.
And most of John's people, like myself, were all gone from there, so there's nobody to tell her how to do it and get it done on time. She's kind of...
But if she reached out to someone like you with experience, she could get this thing done in the way John did it, right? Is what you're saying.
Hello? Even if she was smart enough to have sat... And look, John Weinstein's a professional. He would have sat down with her and explained this to her. But she did nothing but trash talk him.
Oh.
And, yeah. And then she pushed him away, and, John's just like, okay, you don't want my help, see what you can do. Oh. And this is the end result of all this, Marty. And like I said, I was there, so I know.
And then the consumer gets screwed.
Oh, absolutely. See, this is the thing.
But hold on, man. They had 2 years to figure it out. Why didn't they figure it out in the last year?
Hey, some people aren't as smart as other people. Let me tell you something. The treasurer's office is like an octopus. It has so many different arms and legs. It does everything from dog licenses to, your taxes. There's a lot going on in there. And if you don't have the experience or people that know it, there's a learning curve that's unreal.
I got you, man. You're spot on, brother.
See, and now you might say, well, how'd John learn? John was the chief deputy treasurer before he was treasurer. So for the last 7,500 years, they passed that knowledge down through the office. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you have a complete virgin office.
Oh.
And
the thing about John is John loved to help people.
Oh my God, John would help in a minute. He's just built that way. But,
we stood in Seward. I mean, he did a ton of stuff with Get Marty. He also had great suits, man. Really nice suits.
Oh, there's no. How about his hair? No one has better hair than John, right?
And the hair was perfect.
Here's another thing. John even initiated a green energy program in that office. And then the other time he spent raising tons of money for the animal friends and stuff. I mean,
huge. Love him.
He's an amazing guy. What a great loss. That's all I can say.
Really nice suits, though. You don't have nice suits, Jimbo.
What's that?
You don't have nice.
No one has better suits than John. I mean,
I wear a hoodie every day. Thanks, Jim. You're my man.
All right, brother. Talk to you.
You would think that if someone was mature, they would just call him and say, hey, hook us up. And John would come in and it'd take him 2 hours and they'd hook them up and we'd all have our tax bills. Instead, we play this petty political game and I hate him, I hate her, and stuck in the middle, you, the taxpayer. Oh, shocking.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Asbestos-related deaths in Allegheny County are 50 to 100% higher than the national average. In a city defined by its history with steel making, many local area tradesmen and steel workers were exposed to asbestos on the job and are now suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma. If you have been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation, even if you smoked. For a free consultation, contact the Pittsburgh-based law firm Goldberg, Persky & White at 1-800-COMPLEX or online at gpwlaw.com.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Has your home or business been damaged by fire, water, or storm? Even when dealing with insurance, you have a choice who repairs and cleans up the mess. Call Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh.
The man, the yellow van, call Service Master.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 47 degrees at Pittsburgh International. At 1 o'clock, I'm David Colorado. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. Westmoreland County officials say a Rostraver man shot and killed his live-in girlfriend last night. 34-year-old Robert Chaplin is being held now without bond after he was arrested. Investigators say a child called police to their home on Route 136, telling them that 35-year-old Estela Vasquez had been shot. Police found her with a gunshot wound to the side. She was taken to a hospital and later died. Chaplin is being held without bond. The 3 children who were in the home at the time are now with relatives. Allegheny County Police continue to investigate last night's fatal shooting of a man by Pittsburgh police. Police say the man who was killed refused to drop a weapon. The officer involved is on leave. No word yet on the identity of the man who was shot and killed. Meantime, the FOP president shared his thoughts about this with KDKA's Marty Griffin. Bob Swartzwelder said he was upset because civilians were distracting the officers during the pursuit.
They were following them and filming. And there's a gunman there, and now they got to worry about, hey, we can't put this civilian in a crossfire. It was actually raising the risk to the officers.
Swartzwelder says civilians following police looking for a man with a gun only made the officers' job more difficult at a time they were making split-second decisions about the use of deadly force. Kevin Acklin is on his way out as the Penguins' president of business operations. In a statement, he says he'll be staying on as an advisor through the end of the year. He joined the team in 2018 and then became head of business operations in 2022. President Trump has spoken at the National Prayer Breakfast today. CBS's Linda Kenyon has more now from the White House.
It's a tradition in Washington that brings lawmakers together on both sides of the aisle. This year, it was 2 events, starting with the prayer breakfast at the U.S. Capitol.
We have to bring religion back. We have to bring it back much stronger.
Then, across town, the president announced a task force.
The mission of this task force will be to immediately halt all forms of anti-Christian targeting and discrimination within the federal government.
Trump said the task force will be run by Attorney General Pam Bondi and will eradicate anti-Christian bias. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Pitt researchers are announcing a promising new vaccine for the bird flu. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has more.
This is not going to be a therapy, so it would not be something that might be useful after you're sick, but it might be something that might be useful to keep you from getting sick.
That's Doug Reed, Associate Professor of Immunology at Pitt, talking about a new antibody that targets a specific region of a protein that the H5N1 avian flu virus cannot mutate and change and still be able to infect.
And so what we were able to show is by doing that, yes, in fact, this antibody does protect against the bird flu.
He says the hope is that this new research will lead to a universal vaccine that would protect humans against all influenza viruses in the future. but that's still about 5 to 10 years away from becoming available on the market. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is currently down 104 points, but the Nasdaq is 59 points higher. The S&P 500 is up. It's currently higher by 15 points. KDKA Sports tonight on the high school basketball game of the week. A girls matchup as Baldwin visits Thomas Jefferson. Countdown to tip-off begins at 6. And outfielder Tommy Pham joined his 10th Major League team, agreeing to a one-year deal with the Pirates. It's worth a little over $4 million. The deal, though, is pending Pham, who turns 37 next month, passing a physical. KDK Radio News Time 103. Right now around the area, it is cloudy and it's 47 degrees. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you visit urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try some antibiotics and nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Pittsburgh Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your chronic sinus infections. Set an appointment today with Pittsburgh Sinus Centers and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 724-903-8048. 724-903-8048. That's 724-903-8048.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will stay rather cloudy, but warm up to a high of 51. Partial clearing tonight, breezy with a low of 29. Then tomorrow, clouds and sun with a high of 36. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
There's a new sheriff in town, literally. It's a new U.S. attorney. I've heard great things about her, to be honest, and I don't follow it that much. But it's important. I'm going to get to that. Pam Bondi. But I want to mention something that just happened, and it's awful, and how life is so short and you never know. But this wonderful employee of Sarah's Candy, who they love, Estella Vasquez. They loved her, worked her butt off, one of their favorite employees. Man. Her boyfriend, according to police, shot and killed her. People that knew them, know them, were concerned. I said that he was an abusive bum. That's the phrase that's being used, an abusive bum. And she was found dead in her home. It's just awful. She was one of their best employees. His name is Vasquez. Robert Chaplin. Her name is Estella Vasquez. His name is Robert Chaplin. And he's under arrest. And he said the gun went off by accident. The people I know investigating this say it was no accident. It's horrible. She was a great employee. I'm told a wonderful woman. And it's a horrible loss. Billy Saris, I sent him a text of Saris Candy. I love him. Said she was one of his best employees, and he's very unsettled and upset with this. Meantime, I happen to have, and I'm going to ask him about Bondi, but I want to get to this. Phil DeLucenti he has handled a significant number of cases like this over the years. You have handled significant number and protected a number of women from abuse, have you not, Phil? These domestics are very volatile, are they not, sir?
You could ask any police officer. You're exactly right. They are the most dangerous calls to be called upon, and it's tragic. My heartfelt sympathies to the Saris family of candy factory workers and Billy Saris.
And Phil, there aren't enough PFAs that you can put in place, and I know on a personal level, people that I know I've sent to you that you've gone out of your way to try to protect them. But even that sometimes isn't even close to being enough, is it, sir?
No, it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper, and the ramifications of having one filed are pretty drastic. And it goes to something you and I talked about over the years that, it's just like anytime somebody's accused falsely of something, it takes away the persons that really are battered. So, what I would like to see more stringently is how these PFAs are reviewed. But at the same time, maybe the punishment's even more than what it is now if there's, some type of physical nature. But I've seen really good ones with this issue.
Awful, too, Phil. I have a picture. She was a beautiful young girl, and they sent out a note to all the Saris employees a short time ago. Abby was one of our brightest stars. Wow. She recruited all of our other Spanish workers that are here. Wow. Favorite musical artist? If I could do any job for one day, elementary teacher. Wow. Favorite Saris product? Chocolate-covered pretzels. Awful.
Oh, wow.
All right. Kyle, please do me a favor. Play the Bondi sound, please. I want Phil to hear this. Thank you. This is a new U.S. attorney. Apologize, Attorney General.
To confront such weaponization and religious persecution, today I'm signing an executive order to make our Attorney General, who's a great person, she's going to be a great Attorney General, Pam Bondi, the head of a task force, brand new, to eradicate anti-Christian bias. About time, right? Anti-Christian.
Thank you, President Trump. I've known you for many, many years, and I will not let you down. I am truly honored that you have asked me to take on this role, and I will make you proud, and I will make this country proud.
Thank you. There you go. Phil, a couple things she lined out. She's going to take another look at the death penalty. What does that mean, sir?
Well, it means that, there's moratoriums, as you know, in various states across the country. And so, a lot of times, whether it was representing mass murders, just various people say, well, the death penalty doesn't happen any further. Even former Judge Mariani, who works for me, had written an opinion, and he said, look, this isn't being enforced, so I don't think we should have a jury trial. I think Mr. Zappala correctly appealed it and won, and here's why, folks. So the death penalty could come back. Just because there's a moratorium in Pennsylvania, that's because Governor Shapiro chose, and before him, Governor Wolf. But you go back to Governor Ridge, it was in existence. So, negotiating somebody's life is as high as it gets, unless you're a medical doctor performing an operation. So, we take that very seriously, that it's always on the table as defense lawyers, because that person, they get the death penalty. They say, oh, it's the same thing. I'll just drag this out. No, it's not the same thing versus life imprisonment.
Wow. Presidential memo suggests, lifting the moratorium on federal executions, as Phil just said, prosecutors to seek the death penalty in cases involving the murder of a law enforcement official and capital crimes. This is crazy here. President Biden commuted the sentences of 37 people on death row, federal death row. So, what the Justice Department is being directed to do is assist local prosecutors in pursuing death sentences under state law against those 37 people. Trump is serious, is he not, Phil?
He's very serious. And what this comes down to, and I've said this on your show before, justice isn't white, black, Hispanic, Chinese, Indian. It is about the green, money. And so a lot of times if you have, now from the defense standpoint, if a client has a lot of money, they could do a lot of things if they don't have the money, they wouldn't be able to do. But prosecutors on the same hand, Steve Zappala, the Philadelphia mayor, those are the two biggest cities in the Commonwealth. They have plenty of lawyers, but they probably need more money too, because you need more capital offense lawyers. And what they're saying is, we will probably give them on loan, or we'll get you more money. And the strongest way to change social policy, I said this on Pratt's shows last night, was change the tax code. And you could see what the first thing that this great Attorney General, Pam Bondi, that we have, she said, look, if you're a sanctuary city, I'm cutting the purse strings.
Yep.
Marty, I'm not just a criminal defense lawyer. We just don't do personal injury cases, hit and run, auto accidents, work related. I was special counsel to the county controller. And let me tell you, the debt service for the county, let alone the city, which is a wreck. This city is such a wreck. The debt service amount on $1 has to be, we could ask Rachel Heisler, it has to be over, somewhere 50, 60 cents on the dollar. So think about this. If they cut off federal funding, and if the mayor, who publicly has said this, I didn't talk to him, but he said publicly he wasn't going to cooperate with the ICE, I'm going to tell you something. That is going to hurt this city, which is already depressed. Crime has been up. People, even the limited traffic we have in the city, there's not police officers directing traffic like we used to have before, and it does get rushed on Wall Street. I did not
think of this, Phil.
We have commercial office space, all-time low, buildings in foreclosure, and now we're going to have the government say, we're not going to give you that money. Well, guess what? Wow. Not only is that an issue, but you have to be careful, because you do not want to violate federal law. And I've been down the street.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of your people, I'm going to tell you something. You do not want to do that. And I think that's a big, big mistake. And now it's even going to hurt everybody economically. It's not just whether, folks are violating the law.
Phil D., elections have consequences, do they not, sir? Man.
Elections have very big consequences. And that's why, as you always say, get out to vote. But wow. I think where we are in this city, it is really, really scary. I have to tell you, and I don't want to get personal because I never do on your show, but it's really sad. It's sad because I've always been a big picture guy.
Yep.
And you see all the pieces that need to be put together, but you're wondering what the heck is going on. I mean, it's a disaster. And okay, great. That's wonderful, Marty. We're going to get the NFL draft. Okay. That's wonderful for a week. Do you see Fortune 500 companies moving in here? No. Do you see development coming in here? Well, maybe, but we have to get $600 million from the state for it to happen. How about just, the capital system is a beautiful system. People say Donald Trump is this and that. The capital system works. But you have to have people that want to go to work, get paid a fair wage, and actually induce them to come into your community.
And then, by the way, Phil, you have spent
now,
millions of dollars downtown in terms of staffing and leases, and you've seen this deterioration every single day when you come in.
Oh, I have to tell you, from the time that I started working for Billy Petrogallo to now, I used to be able to stay in one Oxford Center, shop, eat, work out. All I needed was a bed.
Right.
Now, it's vacant. A lot of the stores you could, you really didn't have to leave. And then Kaufman's was attached. And so, you hear these stories about development, this social media, my God, Facebook, LinkedIn, oh, we're doing this and we're doing this. And it's like, yeah, that might be great for the guy. That's like me saying I just got, which I do get, $1 million case. Well, that's wonderful for me. That's wonderful for the client. But that's not necessarily wonderful for the world. Now, we need bigger ideas, bigger thinkers, folks that don't just, everything's
We need
not
leaders, brother. We need leaders, brother.
Everything's not a soundbite in life.
Right.
And let me tell you, getting back to Pam Bondi, this is a woman of action. Attorney General for the state of Florida. You look at her as Attorney General for the state of Florida and how Florida is prospering. They cannot keep up with the people that are coming in there developing businesses. Texas. Now, let's look at California. Okay, where more sanctuary cities are. I mean, forget about the D's and the R's. Can we just all agree that things aren't looking great and we need to change? Okay, we need the change.
Phil De La Sente, someone lit a fire under your desk today. Wow, I love this stuff. You got that hair standing up.
Well, it's just it's gotten to the point where you just you've had so many business owners.
Oh yeah,
whether it's the financial.
I live it, brother. I live it. I'm down there with you, brother. It sucks right now. Yeah. We got to have leadership.
We need a change, but I think this Attorney General, Pete Flaherty is always known as being one of the greatest mayors of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
But what a lot of folks don't realize was he was the second most powerful man in this country during the Carter years as the Deputy Attorney General. And the Deputy Attorney General really does a whole lot. Now, the Attorney General represents the U.S. in legal matters, gives advice and opinions to the President, heads the executive departments, is head of the civil and the criminal division. So it's a big role, but the deputy is sort of the one that executes it. And so I remember asking him the one time, he said, the deputy attorney general job was great because you had so many people to do so many things. He says, when you're the mayor, he says it's one of the toughest but most rewarding jobs. But he said you have to really work your tail off.
Right on.
Because every day it's filled with problems and you got to think ahead.
Philly
and
D,
so,
love you, man. The best.
All right.
You speak the
Thank
truth.
You, Marty. Have a great night.
He is spot on today.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Look, Julian Gray and I became good friends when my parents passed. And in those difficult times, I'll tell you what he did. He got us through it. Seriously, with estate planning, unbelievable. With managing the taxes, unbelievable. With a will, unbelievable. This is what they do. Folks, they're certified elder law attorneys, and they are committed to helping you with legal issues and protecting your family. Julian Gray is the best I've ever known. I have gone in his office in a frenzy, worried about taxes, about the estate, about how to manage money, about how to manage my future. And Julian Gray and his people answer those questions. They're the best going. GrayOuterLaw.com, GrayOuterLaw.com, 412-458-6000, 412-458-6000. The best. Hey, folks, it's Marty. I love NASCO, and my friends at NASCO Roofing, they're working year-round. So while it's wintry outside, this is a great time to get your roof project going with a free estimate from NASCO. They're the region's roofing leader. Roofs are all NASCO does, and they're the only company I want on my roof with an A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. NASCO's skilled teams exceed expectations. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on materials and labor. NASCO, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. That's NASCO. 2D Mechanical Systems, Pittsburgh's HVAC, plumbing, and electric leaders is a family business that I truly admire. 2D culture is built on ethics, service, and making a difference in our community. 2D Mechanical Systems, they're the people you want working in your home.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Whoa. I've never heard a Phil like that. I've known him 25 years, no, 23, 24 years. I mean, he's like a brother to me. We're very close friends. I've talked about this in Pittsburgh, and this is legit, man. My boys, and we live this. And at the highest levels of power in politics in this town, people are sick of it. They are. It's crappy. And Phil is connected to this town and loves this town. You can hear him. And there's a brand of dismay that is not healthy. And there's a brand of disgust that's even less healthy. And to be blunt, there's no kind of iconic leadership to say, to hell with this crap, we're moving forward. There is no Marshall Plan for Pittsburgh. There is no let's light it on fire plan. Let's go. There just isn't. Have you heard it? I haven't. I respect anyone who wants to be a politician, but the politicians in place now, with all due respect, they're woke. And with all due respect to being woke and progressive, in essence, their focus is pretty basic in nature. I'm going to give it to you. Their focus is this. People are getting screwed. We need to give people more. That's it. Rich people suck. Development sucks. Rich guys suck. Trump sucks. Musk sucks. We don't want rich people around here. Let's help poor people. But they won't allow rich people to build buildings here because they can't afford it. They won't allow developers to build housing here because they can't make a nickel. And you know they have to make a nickel. So what you have is, and then they take on the largest employer in the damn state, UPMC, and say, screw them. Seriously. So you have the socialists saying, give us more. What's that song? Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more. It's a fact, man. Until we get leadership. And I've told you this. I like Ed Gainey. He's very charming, charismatic. When I met Sarah Innamorato, she's afraid of me, too. She's very charming, very, very intelligent, very kind. But they're both socialists. And that's, I'm not suggesting that's a bad thing. I'm just suggesting they see big shot business guys as the enemy. And when they do that, the enemy says, screw you. And that's where we're at. You got the rich guys in one room with their arms crossed, and the socialists in the other room with their arms crossed. And that ain't working. And as a result, Pittsburgh gets hosed. It's bad. Phil, man, Phil opened up. I haven't heard him like that. He's disgusted. Get in line, Phil. Welcome to the blender.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
There is treatment for neuropathy. I'm Dr. Dawn Spalla. At Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine, we treat neuropathy patients daily. No drugs, no surgery, just relief. Call 724-224-2224 for a free consultation in our Sarver or Brackenridge locations.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 46 degrees in Pittsburgh International. At 1:30, I'm David Colorado. There's good news for Allegheny County taxpayers who are still waiting to get their tax bills in the mail. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has an update.
Allegheny County Council President Pat Katina confirms to Marty Griffin on KDKA Radio that he's received word that the tax bills are finally going out.
So I heard from the treasurer, and the first batch of tax bills are physically going out from the North Side Post Office today. So those should start hitting over the weekend.
And then he says from there, there'll be another batch going out every day.
So hopefully everyone should have tax bills in hand by the end of next week, next Friday.
He says no explanation was given as to why there's been such a delay in getting those tax statements out for the second straight year. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
The Senate is expected to vote today on the confirmation of Russell Vought to lead the Office of Management and Budget after Democrats held the floor overnight to oppose his confirmation. CBS congressional reporter Torian Small is at the Capitol with more on the Democrats' opposition.
Their real reservations is kind of twofold here. One, because they feel as Trump's next budget chief, Vought would give unfettered access to the president to dismantle, in their mind, the federal government as they see happening now. And then second is because of his association with Project 2025. That's the conservative manifesto by the Heritage Foundation.
Since they hold the majority in the Senate, Vought could be confirmed as early as tonight unless 4 GOP senators defect. A postal carrier robbed at gunpoint yesterday in Homewood. Ted Lee, who is the president of his union, tells KDKA TV that it happened Wednesday on Rosedale Street near Hamilton Avenue. Postal inspectors are investigating. On Wall Street, the Dow and the Nasdaq are running in opposite directions. The Dow is down 157 points. The Nasdaq is higher 73 points, and the S&P 500 is currently up a little more than 15 points. KDK Radio News Time, 1:32. Our next update's at 2. I'm David Colorado on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio, KDKA.
You know what I love? The punchki. Oakmont Bakery's punchkis. Delicious. Strawberry cream, cherry, raspberry, blueberry, Pittsburgh cream, Oakmont cream, lemon, maple bacon, cookies and cream, apple cinnamon, peanut butter. The punchki rocks. You've got to try the punchki at Oakmont Bakery. Handmade, homemade, unbelievable treat at Oakmont Bakery right now. You know what I say about punchki? They're delicious. Oakmont Bakery rocks.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 10% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-bill.
Every time I go into the offices of Physical, that's F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L in Monroeville, where I get physical therapy, to help my balance, I see a room full of patients waiting that heard how much it's helped me on this talk show. And it's so rewarding. F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Look, I had chemo and radiation, jacked up my balance. It doesn't anymore. Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. It works.
Contemplating retirement but worried you can't afford it because of high health insurance costs? Let the One Health Benefits team guide you on what's best for your retirement health care needs. One Health Benefits experts have been providing customized health benefit choices to retirees for over 2 decades. You'll probably be pleasantly surprised about the affordable options from One Health Benefits. Call today, 724-799-8873, or learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
Hey, this is Lisa from Nest Expressions Window Fashions. As we all expected, Nest Expressions has grown out of its old gallery in less than 3 years, and I have built Pittsburgh's one and only state-of-the-art Hunter Douglas Galleries. 2015 Village Run Road is where you'll exclusively find the newest shades, shutters, and blinds from Hunter Douglas. And don't forget, I have the most passion in Pittsburgh for draperies. So call 724-933-5500 or simply nestexpressions.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly cloudy and warming up this afternoon. We'll have a high of 51. Partial clearing tonight, breezy with a low of 29, then colder with clouds and sun and a high of 36 tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Par-Mar store. See for yourself. Download the Par-Mar Stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrili reminding you that if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
I'm going to talk about my man, Kevin Acklin. But I want to mention what Phil was talking about. And sanctuary cities and the federal government can pull their money. They can. And this all kind of goes back to immigration. Wonderful comment from Diane. And I respect and admire your opinion. She sent the note, obviously, when Phil was on. City mayors are not required to support the deportation of undocumented immigrants. The federal government is responsible for immigration enforcement. But local governments have the right. I apologize. I'm giving a little. Local governments have the right to determine their own policies. Fine. Courts have the rule that threatening to withhold funding from cities that protect undocumented immigrants is unconstitutional. Fine. But with all due respect to you, and I'm certain you're right, Trump will do it. And with all due respect to your angst over this issue, it's got to tell you the truth. Can you handle the truth? And I've had this talk a dozen times. People don't like Trump, fine. But Obama deported 3.2 million illegal immigrants. No pushback. Why? He was called the deporter-in-chief, Diane. Deporter-in-chief. It's a fact. Trump, in his whole term, deported fewer than 1 million. I'm just keeping it real. So why the pushback now? Because it's Trump. Why your narrative now? Because it's Trump. Why no pushback with Obama? Because it was Obama. Please don't tell me Obama was nicer about deporting illegals. Please. Please. Please don't tell me they put them in limos and clothe them in bespoke suits. Please don't. Please don't do that. The truth is the truth, and it will set you free. And if you think that Trump won't pull funding from sanctuary cities, you need to do a little more reading and pay a little more attention to what's happening in America right now. Before I get to my man, Kevin Acklin, one more reminder. Obama deported 3.2 million people. Trump, fewer than 1 million. George W., a little over 1 million, and Clinton, like 800,000. So you know. And I love your note, and I respect and admire the fact that you said the federal government enforces laws through the Department of Homeland Security. The Second Circuit Court appealed, ruled the Department of Justice could not withhold funds from sanctuary cities. Fine. But let me tell you this. It's happening. And that's a fact. So, Kevin Acklin is one of my close friends. I have known him for, I don't know, at least 20 years. I know his family. I know all his friends. I know who he grew up with. I know everything about him. Central Catholic grad. Harvard law grad. He's actually an amazing story. He's a brilliant guy. But I'll tell you what. My man loves Pittsburgh. Loves hockey and loves the Penguins. He is moving on. Tell your friends that you can bank on this. He was not fired. That's crap. He was not fired. I'm going to tell you the truth. He's been there 7 years. He's kicked ass. Done amazing things. Look at the development. Look at the community engagement. Look at the commitments. 7 years. There's a new ownership group, this Fenway group. They're all billionaires. They have a great sports history. They own the Red Sox. You know this whole story. They sat him down last week. They talked about an extension. That's a fact. They didn't say, Kevin, go home. That's a lie. Don't perpetuate the lie. He's loved working for the Penguins. He loves the Penguins. He's staying in Pittsburgh. I think he's with the team all the way through the summer. Seriously. He loves the Fenway Group. He'll be an advisor. He'll work in his current job as president like until July or August, and then through the end of next year as an advisor. Boom. He loves the Fenway Group. There's no animus. Nothing like that is true. But he wants to try something different. I think that's cool. He's a man of his word. In my life, there's a handful of guys like him. I'm going to tell you that he had a press guy that I loved. He had cancer, colon cancer. And he got really sick. And he worked for Kevin in communications. And he kept him on board while he was sick for over a year. And paid his salary. And paid his benefits. And that's what Kevin was. And that's the facts. He's loyal. He's honest. He's an Oakland kid. Patrick is streaming some video right now of, this is an example, of Kevin and myself in Salem's Market in the Hill District. He stepped in there, helped them get into the arena, helped them find new markets for his business, helped them work with the URA, helped them work with banks. He's an amazing guy. And I could sit down 100 people that love him. And he's more connected than Jesus. So, where will he end up? I've got some ideas, but that's not my business right now. So for those who think Kevin was fired, you're full of crap. It just didn't happen. I thought maybe new investors came in and new investors wanted a new guy. That's not true either. It has nothing to do with this. He named his press room after Tim McNulty. It's a fact. Tim had bad colon cancer for like 8 years. I mean, bad. Had a teenage daughter. And Kevin hired him. And when Tim was sick as hell and had to stay home, Kevin kept him at full salary. One of my people, man. For obvious reasons. All right.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Man, I've been through a cancer battle, and UPMC saved my life, and it's just the truth, and I rave about them. In a very, very difficult time historically in healthcare, in a very, very stressful time for patients, doctors, staff, everybody involved, it ain't easy. But my sister is going through pancreatic cancer treatment at UPMC Hillman. And every single day runs into very, very stressful situations. And every single day, they handle it in an amazing way at UPMC. They handle it like no one else handles it. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving information, lifetime of helping people. I love it.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
Beds are us when dreams sunk in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 412-556-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams sunk in. Beds are us.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Check this out. You know, JK's my man. He's the restaurant king in Oakmont. Calls me yesterday. Says, Marty, Tuesdays at the Lot, 4 p.m. to close. The Lot at Edgewater. Gorgeous, gorgeous restaurant. All you can eat crab legs. Unbelievable. Snow crab clusters, salad, muffins. Delicious. All you can eat. One price. This place is unbelievable. The Lot at Edgewater. You know who loves it? Mark Sorreo from Oakmont Bakery. Don't tell anyone.
Hi, this is elder law attorney Carl Zachariah. Betty called me last week because her mother's in a nursing home and had given her $30,000 2 years ago. I told her that 5-year look back will not apply. We can get it fixed. Call Zachariah Brown at 724-942-6200 or visit PittsburghElderLaw.com.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
Oh, look at that thing on TV. Pesto the Penguin turns 1. Who the hell's Pesto the Penguin? He lives in Australia, I think. What do I need to know about Pesto the Penguin for? They had a birthday party for this penguin. They're showing it on television. It's just another day to that penguin. That penguin has no idea it's his birthday. None at all. Anyhow, I got sidetracked.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Ultra-low-cost carrier Breeze Airways is upping its flights in Pittsburgh to a city that had been served long ago by U.S. Airways. Breeze announced yesterday it would begin service between Pittsburgh International and Greenville-Spartanburg, South Carolina, starting May 1st. The flights will be Thursdays and Sundays and will be seasonal. While it's not the first time the Greenville-Pittsburgh route has been served, it has been a while. U.S. Airways had flown the route to and from its Pittsburgh hub until November of 2004, when a lot of the hub service was being removed from Pittsburgh. Also, the Pittsburgh Penguins will soon be looking for a new president of business operations. Teddy Werner, a partner at Fenway Sports Group, the ownership group of the Penguins, as well as the senior vice president, strategic operations for Fenway Sports Management, made the announcement that Kevin Acklin would be leaving the team. The announcement came at the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation's 2025 Night of Assist Gala at Rivers Casino last night. Acklin confirmed the news with the Business Times. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to PittsburghBusinessTimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, I'd be surprised if he didn't run for mayor. Not this time, but at some time in the next 4 or 5 years. Kevin Acklin. His wife is awesome, Katie. Very cool. They met when they were both in the mayor's office with Peduto. I always tell you these stories about how life comes full circle. This is a true story. He was Peduto's chief of staff, Kevin. I broke a story about Peduto that Peduto hated. Now, Katie O'Malley, his wife, current wife, she told me, because she hated me. She did. She told me that Peduto would have my show on in his office, and he would scream at the radio and drop F-bombs. And she would scream at him, turn that show off. And he couldn't help himself. Who can, really? And she said, because he hated me in my show so much, she hated me in my show. She's a wonderful woman. She's on KDKA just about every day. She's actually very talented. True story about Kevin. So I break this story. I'm on KDKA, and I break this story about Peduto that Kevin hates and Peduto hates. They call for my boss to come to the mayor's office with me. This is true. The next day after we broke the story. And I'm sitting in Peduto's office with him and my news director from KDTV and Kevin Acklin and me, little old me. Okay? Kevin is screaming at my boss, I want you to fire this blank, blank, blank right now. I swear. This piece of blank, blank, blank needs to be fired right now. Here we are. I tell these stories all the time because they're actually great lessons. In that, we made peace after that. And we have been very close friends ever since. Life isn't about, I'm going to get philosophical here. Write this down. It's not about your failure. It's your successes. It's about your failures. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, man, this is getting ugly. And it was brutal. And it ended up being one of the best relationships I've ever had. Same thing happened about 100 times in my life. And I tell my kids this. You don't like this person. You don't like that person. You don't like how they did this or that. Fine. Fight it out. Find the middle ground and move ahead together. Period. So this show becomes full circle. It kind of goes back to how we started this conversation and how Phil De La Sente got me going. There is no unified group of men and women who are leaders to make Pittsburgh great again. It's just not. The rich guys, they hide behind one door. The rich gals, they hide behind another door. And the politicians hide behind another door. And as long as they're behind their little doors, we will not succeed. Just will not succeed. And right now, there is no runner with the torch, like the Olympic torch, cheering Pittsburgh on. And we need that. I love this town. It's my town. It's your town. But I will not lie and say Pittsburgh's wonderful. I just won't. I can't. It's not. Why would we do that? Huh? There's a guy with a bad marriage saying, oh, we're great. Oh, we're wonderful. It's the fat guy that tells everyone he's still a 32-inch waist when in fact he's a 42-inch waist, but he now belts his pants below his knees. You know this guy. Look in the mirror, find the problem, find a solution. Quit pointing the fingers at each other. Pittsburgh right now is in a bad place. There's no buzz. It just isn't. There's no vibe that's positive. We need leaders who truly have a plan to make this a better place to live. Look, we need ambassadors for economic growth. We need people here to plant seeds that grow in downtown Pittsburgh, because that's where it starts. We need a police chief that demands 24/7 downtown. Excuse me. Downtown be the safest place you ever live. We need greatness. We need A students, not C-, mostly D students. And until we get them, we're backpedaling fast. My man Colin's next.
Honored to win the Marconi Award as the best news talk station in the country. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
So, the best tree service, the best, most highly trained, the best pricing, the safest, the most reliable, the most professional, and they do free tree service for veterans, World War II veterans. They're the most amazing people I ever met. My man Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. I'm telling you, branches, trees, you name it, the biggest jobs and the smallest jobs.